as we get developments to this story.
Thank you very much for that. Joey, any final thoughts before we send it to the big boys?
No, I'm short here. A couple losses here today. We had a nice move on silver initially, which was going over the news, and then once we got a pullback through the volume-weighted average price, I was looking for this move to be continued, but that was a nice 40-cent pop, essentially, and I didn't get to capture anything. I'm now short Novo Nordisk, maybe a move back into VWAP, but a choppier session for me today.
All right, guys. It's been great. Happy Tuesday. State of the Union tonight, of course. Nvidia earnings tomorrow. There's no shortage of market action here that we can expect going into the week, Joey.
Scan the QR code.
Scan the QR code, guys. The Academy is live. Scan that QR code. Start your journey. We're talking about the Trader TV Academy. I'm sure the boys will have more to say about that. See everybody at the big desk.
See you guys.
More to say about the Trader TV Live Academy. Well, we'll have plenty to say about it.
Apparently it's live today.
It's live. Get live, everybody.
Live.
It's also, you got the vest going on and the glasses today. We think, I don't know, the State of the Unions tonight, that should obviously be interesting. Seemingly, it's going to be over 100 minutes long.
Yeah. Me and Neil were talking about it. I was like, you know what, I want to go over under. And, I said, like, is there a bet on this? And then we went to Polymarket.
First of all, there's always a bet.
Yeah, so I don't know.
Right now, the big money, it's literally like you get 100 plus, and that's basically like 50-50 shot. Then you got to pick these 10-minute windows. And the other thing we were discussing is really your best bet would be maybe to cover a 20-minute block instead of a 10-minute block. But I don't know what the norm is.
That's what I said. Like, I don't know how. What was this last year?
Yeah, like what was the State of the Union last year? Go back to the prior. Because like anything else, if you're trying, you got to try to find some kind of.
I got to give Trump credit because that age, like honestly, like my dad falls asleep, like, and so do I, by the way, like on the couch, like 9 o'clock, 9:30. I mean, I'm a little later than that, but. And I'm just thinking, like, Trump, this guy's, I think, is taking, 9 o'clock is taking the stage. So you've got, like, a big, 100 minutes. That's like...
You know at 9 o'clock, after dinner, my pops is, like, already ready
That's
to
what
go.
I'm saying. Anyways.
Straight up, like, I have to tell us about it, because my dad... My wife's traveling, so my dad came over to walk my daughter to school in the morning, because I'm out early. So he comes by super early, because I'm up at, like, 4:30 in the morning. So he comes by at, like, 5 o'clock. I do like stretching and mobility stuff in the morning while I'm kind of, the news is on, or I might be reading articles on my phone. And so he sits down just to kind of watch CP24 while I'm doing that.
So he came over, right.
It's like 1 minute into, like, I'm stretching, he's just sat down, and something happens, I forget what it was that happened on the news. Like, hey, Dad, you see that? He's like...
He's asleep already in the morning?
You just sat down, you just drove here, you just sat down on the couch for 30 seconds, and boom, out like that. You know what, though? It is not a bad thing to be able to sleep quickly. Like, I actually...
Apparently when you get older, it's even tougher to sleep.
Because for a long time, like, that, I really struggle with that. And it's something you want to work on, because you want to be rested and locked and loaded and ready to go. I don't know what Joey said about this.
What? Joe?
Silver.
Oh.
Silver. I don't know if he said he was long or short.
He's schlong.
Schlong?
Yeah,
yeah, that's one thing you can't actually be. I mean, you can make some hedge plays if you want, but no, I had one short. It's like the wrong timing, and this is like rolling over. It's the thing I'm looking at right now for a VWAP short if we get anything spicy. But I think you've got something important
right now. Tesla is ripping to the north side, but we have something to talk about. It's been an unbelievable launch day today for the Trader TV Academy. We spent so much time perfecting these step-by-step materials because we wanted to make sure you had the exact tools that we all use to find success. The doors are now open. Go have a look. The community is growing, and we are live. Check it out. Sign up at tradertv.live. If you haven't jumped in yet, now is the time. We have a special introductory offer of $480. Can't beat that. Stop wondering how we do it and start learning for yourself. Scan that QR code right there on your screen and head to tradertv.live before the day is out and start your journey. Better to start now than never. Get that going. And we've seen so many traders come and go through these doors that, simply don't follow anything. It's unbelievable. I wish this was built when, we had all started, just to give all the managers out there sort of a roadmap to what you're trying to teach individual traders, and now it's available for you as an individual trader as well. Hey man, get a couple of you together and get it and see how that is.
You want
right? And so, I mean, I think it's just a great House fails to approve aviation safety bills. I don't know what that means, but I just heard that in my ear. We can have a quick look at Boeing. But
what has to be in that?
Just scan that QR code, get ready to go, man. It's an awesome opportunity. It's been a really hot start to this academy. So we want to say thank you to everybody for supporting it and keep it going.
Yes.
You know, and we'll be talking about it for a while and showing you guys some examples and whatnot as it goes. So thank you for running that video. But it's a Trader TV Live Academy, now live. Over 50, 60 plus years experience all wrapped into one little fine package
when
for
he
you.
said 50.
And it's very, very easy. Yeah, it's very, very easy. Oh, someone just emailed us and let us know that there was a bug on the page. Okay, we'll get it all figured out.
That's the other thing. Keep the
right
feedback coming in. This is not something. Like, I don't want to harp on. I'm not gonna. You don't name any names or harp on anyone that has programs out there. This is not something where you get this and that's it. No, like it is ongoing. Like you get access to the simulator so you can test out your theories, so you can learn. And when the market changes, it will be constantly changing and updating with it. We will be on there giving our thoughts. So we do want your feedback. More feedback, the better, so that we can make it a better experience for all of you. I know Sharif is getting locked and loaded and ready.
He's locked and loaded.
To go. He's getting warmed up because you got to make sure you do the warm up, right? Like I don't know, your arm circles before you do the working set. He probably has to do like 5 or 6. Warm-up sets before you get into the working sets of bench. I don't know if you're one of those.
Or potentially 6 or sets.
Oh boy, now we're back on the 6-7.
Like, ever since I started like doing some weights, like now my shoulders are so sore, Sharif. I need to get that Sharif look going.
Doing the presses? You doing shoulder?
Well, I mean, look at this guy back
What are you
there. I
doing
mean,
today?
this guy's arms like the size of my head over there.
What arms? Those
Sharif,
what?
keep those away, guy. Come on, I mean, we don't have a license. All right, well, buy the Academy or get stuck in between some of those pipes. No, today I just did.
Terrible.
Oh, it's like a squat, like a ab machine where you push the weights down like that, and then I just kind of get the dumbbells and do some of this and some of that and some rows.
Yeah, man.
And then I was 20 minutes on this like elliptical that's more like a running elliptical because with my knee I can't do any. I can't go on the treadmill.
That's why the pool.
That's why the pool is right. You haven't been in there for a minute. So okay, all right, we're locked and loaded here. It's 2:07. Yeah, Tesla right now. Before we go over to Sharif, I'm sure this is going to be a talk of the town there. But there's Tesla, Rip City. We got out when it broke right there, back down through. Yo, what's up, Randall?
Randy, this morning you were way too much of a ninja with that coffee.
Yeah, we didn't even know you brought.
We didn't even know you brought the coffee.
Ask for a coffee, and I bring you a coffee, and then you don't drink. You have one job.
Yeah, Neil.
Oh, wow.
Randy's saying we ask a coffee, he brings the coffee, and then Neil bitches about it.
Okay, so here's the thing. I didn't know
I reached back and grabbed
there.
it.
But by that time, it was already cold. It
Yeah.
was kind of already cold. That's on us. That's my bad. You just tell us if we're not paying attention.
First of all, he doesn't even have a mic, so we're going to get in trouble.
I got to ask you a question, Rand. Well, he doesn't have a mic, so I guess we can't ask him this question.
Nope. Because what is it? Well, let's ask him it anyways.
No, the question I wanted to ask you is...
Ooh, when Rivian?
Rivian Randy, we are holding this 200-period moving average as of today on Rivian. Is this going to be another bounce spot, or should we be waiting for lower prices, Rivian Randy? Oh, and you have to react to this headline as well. You're on the spot.
What is this? I gotta go to work now. Listen, the R2 is on its way. Amazing, okay? Pre-production is on its way. So, are we close? Yeah. Can we see the finish line? Almost. Are there gonna be problems? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. Okay, it's pre-production. There's lots and lots of standing orders. We're just around the bend here. So that 200-period moving average, keep an eye on it. There's RJ's waited a long time for this. There's good stuff in the works. I think we have to be patient. But here we go.
This guy's using fundamental analysis now.
I know.
This guy's charting over here.
No, he's not playing around.
What? This guy's combining everything, man. A little macro, a little fundamentals, a little bit of charting. Over there.
How long have we waited for this?
So I got an email yesterday that said, it was funny, that showed Marissa, it said, your R2 is almost ready.
Almost.
All I did was put down a deposit,
It's a
man.
bit
You know,
vague.
it's a
Hopefully
bit
it's
vague,
not Elon Musk vague, but it's
This is a
vague.
deposit.
Nothing, yeah, $200. I mean,
But when you
small,
get a date,
250 or
then you'll be excited.
Is there like a
or once I find out the actual price?
Theoretical date, or is there
no,
like
it just
window?
says like I can
Soon.
I can reread it. Well, I can find it in my email later, but yeah, it was
So-
get ready. It said.
Fingers crossed. Keep an eye on the numbers. Buy the depths when you can find them. But I see lots of good things coming.
Okay. You heard it from Randy.
Problem is the car business is a garbage business right now.
super
Ford, by the way, ripping upside, and that's more about the hybrid talk there. They actually got rid of the F-150 Lightning and started to focus a little differently. Ford was up 5%.
Market likes.
What was the story? Oh, it's Sharif, not Adara, but I don't know. I don't know if you heard about Ford. What was up with that today? It was spiked. Recall in a good way? Like, I don't know. That just ripped hard right there. So
Yeah, there's like 3 recall notes this morning, and it's up 5%.
yeah. So anyways, I don't know.
If
Something
you
about
go up
Ford.
on bad news, then
Something about Ford right there. Look at that, man. It's about to take out some of the tops, too. This is looking It's funny because all we talk about is Tesla. Meanwhile, Ford is doing this. Tesla's going the other
partly
way.
because of the
right
refocus
now.
on
So right there, yeah. Getting away from
getting
EVs.
away from EVs.
Right there. But, okay. All right, man. It's time to kill him with kindness. It's Sharif. We're going to do the rundown right now. It's the top 5 names that you guys voted for. Sharif, let's get going.
Welcome, everyone, to the Afternoon Rundown, the show where you decide what we talk about every single afternoon. The big boys, Neil and Sean, they're locked, they're loaded, and they're ready to look at the tickers as decided by you. But the only way to get your tickers on the Afternoon Rundown is to get into the chat and join us bright and early. We're live at 8 a.m. and vote for your favorite tickers every day. But you got to throw in that $sign before you vote. And then usually when I say that, there's a whole bunch of votes that come in. So let's look at all 4 major averages before we look at the first ticker. The triple Qs here, the Nasdaq ETF up 1%, the SPY up 0.69, trying to work its way up 3/4. The Dow up 0.83, good day for the Dow, and then leading the way here for all 4 major averages is the Russell 2000 IWM up 1.12, good look for small caps today. AMD, far and away, by far the most requested name by you guys, and what a move AMD was, up into 227, official high of the day though, after the open is 216, dropping into 214 now. Basically, Meta and AMD are tying up the knot to build about 6 gigawatts of data centers using AMD's MI450 GPU. AMD, in exchange, will offer about 160 million warrants, possible shares, that Meta could vest if they meet the build-up criteria. So they'll be vesting certain amounts of warrants based on how many gigawatts they built out, guys. But AMD up 8.86.
So I know one of the, I heard that, well, obviously there was conversation about this in the midday when you guys are going over the news, and then the fact that Meta is incentivized because they could own shares of AMD to want to stay with them and not do as much business or do less business with Nvidia because business with AMD improves the value of their ownership stake, like that kind of a thing. And there's another side to that coin too, which it could provide some. It could provide. So I'd be showing Meta when I'm talking about this. It could provide the wrong types of motivations, right? Like if you're making now decisions because you own a stake, not because of what is necessarily best for the company, I think that cuts both ways. It also has that sort of circular financing narrative that a lot of people are up in arms is the wrong word. Let's just say pensive about or nervous about. So I don't know how much I love this for Meta as any kind of a catalyst. For AMD, quite simply, anything that draws business from theoretically or market share from Nvidia is going to seem to be good. But I think the reason, there's a couple of reasons why, besides technically that 50 period, the fact that it couldn't hold over the 50 period and this 220 level made it difficult to look for this to be a breakout. Like it's showing you where the resistance was, and like by the time we were at the open, it was already failing underneath. And it makes sense of going into Nvidia earnings as well. Throw on top of that because they report tomorrow. You have some uncertainty. Why not? State of the Union tonight. Lots of things can happen. So I had one quick. It was a late scalp. Like missed the trend bottom break and then kind of did this little trend line break, and it was a scalp into VWAP. It was a better short from there than it was a trend break long, but it's set up. Like there's your trend break, there's your bar high break, and then it goes to VWAP, and that's about it. But I'm still on the line of 220 is that spot that I don't think you're getting through. It didn't quite get close enough to press into that for a short. It's theoretically possible we can see that this afternoon. I think that's pretty unlikely. If it loses VWAP, that could be another way to play the profit taking going into what is an even bigger event than this news, which will be Nvidia earnings. Yeah, so I'm not really sold on this from Meta's standpoint. And again, tomorrow is where put up or shut up kind of deal for Nvidia. And I don't just mean Nvidia's numbers. I think we also have to consider there's all that selling that's happening in the like 194, 193, 194 on Nvidia. If the buyers don't win, it doesn't matter how good the prints are.
We'll go over to the next stock, but I just want to show one thing here, and I mean, Neil just broke it all down, so it doesn't, for me, it's not much to do right here, but this level, if you were looking to get short, like I had written down 219 to 220 on the note, but we knew that it was going to be, well, we had thought, knowing something, I don't know, but we had thought it was going to be a short, especially after the reaction, right? And so that's all. Just when you get news, and then this is the sort of when there's low volume in the pre-market, you know, this is, and there was good volume, but just obviously we knew it was going to start to explode once the market opened up. But this was fading, you know, so this was kind of like no surprise that it did go down. Could have been a little bit more aggressive and just played that short and just punched short and watched it, because we did get all the way down to 207, and then we went into 205, the bottom's bay, yeah, 206.50 or so. So we kind of just matched that pre-market low there, and then we come up and we kind of match again that pre-market high. So I feel like there was good trading here for support and resistance traders. It's just, yeah, you had to have been over there. And this was basically during the midday show there between 1 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock, where we could have looked at another short there for AMD. So now that it's in the middle, especially ahead of Nvidia tomorrow night, I just don't really think that it's a trade right now. Whenever there's a gap, you like to look at VWAP. So we haven't, you know, it held it there when the talk was negative. Now we've busted through. So maybe AMD now wants to hold VWAP. So I think the next trade, if anything, is at 213, and you kind of just wait for it. So that's what I'm going to be doing here with AMD.
Next ticker on the watch list, guys, Nvidia, and this one reports earnings after the bell tomorrow. Consensus EPS estimate, the market is gauging $1.54, which would be, if met, up 73% year over year. Likewise, with that headline revenue number, $66.12 billion. Again, if met, would be a 68.1% bump year over year. BNP Paribas expects what they're calling a classic beat and raise for the quarter, but they're not expecting to learn much incrementally to move the stock. They're saying, this is their opinion, that Nvidia will be reserving any potential market-moving news for its GTC conference in March, guys. So Nvidia up a little bit less than 0.5% the day before earnings.
So quickly before we get to Nvidia, we did get a super chat from Nick Dubs, so I want to quickly go over that. Nick Dubs, 67.61. Why not? There's been a lot more 6.7 today than usual. I don't know why, but it just feels like that's been true. Could be anecdotal, but I've heard a lot of it. Hey, Neil, hope your trading has gone well today. Well, it was a red to green kind of day. It was a lot better after the first couple of trades, and really wish I had stuck with obviously that XLF. You bought a long swing. Ooh, so you're betting into earnings on Redwire. We're gonna pull that one up here. Holding through earnings off of the recent lows. So this. You know, so the good news is obviously technically you've got a support level, but didn't HIMS do this? It was a drawback into consolidation, and you're looking for the pop. I don't know what, if you play this through, you could have been playing it through options, who knows, or you could have actually just bought the shares. So there's a lot of ways to look at this. I've never been that kind of I'm going to go gamble on this into the earnings print. Like if I felt like I had some kind of an edge as to which direction things might be going, or if I had a really good read on the prior history of how they report when they're in certain situations at certain prices and certain values, that would be one thing. So I would have to defer to that, because I always feel like if it's not actually in an upward trend and I'm just trying to bottom pick, there is always that chance that you could HIMS it, where like it was into a consolidation bottom. Well, guess what it did on the earnings is it broke down, and then HIMS actually went into the green. So yeah, you've got a support level out there, but it's not necessarily my cup of tea. to gamble into earnings, and only because it's more difficult to manage that risk. Like if you throw your stop at the low, there's significant risk of slippage if you aren't playing it through options. Then if you're playing options, then it's going to be ridiculously expensive going into the earnings print. So I always feel like that's a tricky one. So I tended to stay away personally. If it didn't have earnings, that would be a different story because then it's just a consolidation support break, which I do like. As far as Nvidia goes, one of these days I will not cancel the 194 breakout, and it'll actually break out for Nvidia. We've been saying this level it wants to go. It's putting in higher lows into this same top. And once again, you got there. 2 days in a row, we got there and we didn't break on Nvidia. And it's been a long time. Whomever is selling up here, they can't sell it forever. Certainly tomorrow, I would like to think that this level gets tested tomorrow for the breakout after market. So I guess, it could get tested tomorrow. You could officially break on Thursday morning. But this is another day where 194 wins, despite the strength in Nvidia. Remember, they actually were downside pretty heavily in the pre-market because of that AMD news. And they were downside again at the open, and it rallied all the way into what seemed like a good break. I don't know that you can get there this afternoon. The market doesn't seem like it has that kind of volume and volatility in it right now, but that is the level and that is the trade, that 194, if and when it comes. And I suppose we'll see that at some point tomorrow night.
Yeah, I was looking at this as well, and we talked about this. This is why I've just been trying to go long heading into earnings, and now earnings are here. So I think we have to flip over and think about going short after earnings are announced. We'll wait on Thursday to see what that trade looks like. But the last time Nvidia actually moved there was on earnings, and spent a couple days and then cracked. So I'm kind of looking for that exact same trade again if it happens. We'll see where it goes on earnings. I'm hoping it goes up. That level there, about 203, 204. And then once it battled around and once it broke, we've never came back. So I think that I'll wait for a similar kind of play like that to set up after earnings. Hopefully we don't make a move and it's down into this area here because we haven't seen anything since June of 25. So pre this run up, if Nvidia somehow misses and we're down here, that's going to be a big problem for so many stocks, man, like the Broadcoms, AMD, Marvell, everything in this space is going to be a problem. So I think everybody's just fingers crossed that Nvidia still shows that there's some buy pressure for their GPUs and for the robots and everything. And look, if you're going to start to produce something, you're going to try to use the best equipment out there. Obviously, that deal today with Meta and AMD is a little bit of a slap to Nvidia, but Nvidia also has a lot of levers to pull, and we're going to see exactly those. Jensen is a man of Wall Street, so he's going to know exactly. And I don't mean like his origins aren't from there. He was in Denny's when he created this business, but he knows how to talk in front of analysts, and he is going to, quell every sort of fear that we're in late stages here. So I would still say positive here. One of the best companies ever. One of the has minted the most millionaires. That's not going to happen probably moving forward. But I still say if you're going to be in anything right now in the AI trade, Nvidia is most likely the one. So let's just wait and fingers crossed that it is that, and that the emperor does have clothing after all. All right, next stock now maybe Tesla.
Micron, Sean, we'll get to Tesla. It's on the rundown. Micron down 1.17. No specific catalyst today for the negativity on Micron, but there was, of course, that Citron research post on X, basically making the argument that SanDisk is overbought, and Samsung's already the 800-pound gorilla in the room. If you want, you guys can go over to Citron's X page and read the full report there. But looks like Micron moving down in sympathy, guys, with these memory names, down 1%.
I listened to your summary, so I don't have to go to Citron's page and read it. That's what I'm used to.
Yeah,
no,
valid.
I'm just keeping it real. Every now and then, there used to be, back when there was like a trading floor here, there was one trader who used to love to read these short reports.
Oh, okay.
And so like,
now you can just throw it into Grok.
I know, that's the thing. Like now you go over there, and well, that's actually what if you bother to trade these things. Some of these reports can be a little bit long-winded. I don't know. Again, I haven't read this one, so I couldn't tell you. But it is pretty valuable. Like if you want to see whether there's a legitimate fundamental case, and it's not just about the price action, then yeah, go ahead. Sometimes they do make a pretty profound case every now and then. And then sometimes you'll read it and be like, Remember when it was XYZ, like block. And sometimes you'll read it and it's like it's completely incoherent. And at first read, I'm like, look, man, I don't understand.
What, on the short report, you mean?
Yeah, it's just like, what are you even talking about? And if it doesn't make any sense to me, and then I remember block was just like a long right after the fact. Look, for Micron here, it's not going to bode well. I think what I don't like the most about the reaction here into SNDK is this report came out in the morning, and it rallied with the rest of the market, whether you're looking at Micron or whether you're looking at SanDisk. They both caught a pretty hefty bid. Now, obviously, this is worse for SanDisk. It's like the term that you got to think about is if there were sellers there before, then might there be sellers there again? I don't think I've seen a better example today of that exact point. If there were sellers there before, and when it bounces, there were sellers again. And you just go right here to about 12:30. That's when you hit that sell zone on SanDisk, and you could have seen the same thing happen. Like all Micron did was when you broke the bottom on SNDK and it went into that sell zone that we'd already seen, Micron just rolled over. And it's now into like the morning low, so it needs to break away from that. And if you can't break away from this 14, SNDK keeps going down. I could see further downside. Like it's pretty close to the high here that if even a small sign of weakness, you could see a drawback. Obviously, you should be more concerned about SNDK. I know we're talking about Micron, but like most of that is aimed at SNDK more so than Micron. It has a lot of room to head to the downside. So when there's an important sell zone, I think now the 640 level could come into play on any kind of a bounce, probably some continuation down, because this is not even that far off of the highs at this point on SanDisk.
We can look at SanDisk, we can look at Micron, we can look at all of the name, Western Digital, whatever. I'm just going to go to Micron because Neil just did SanDisk. Look, forget about tariff lows. There's lots of stocks that are at tariff lows. That's $61, okay? Even if we go, just to a year ago today, and we talk about February, right? This name was $90. You can say 85 bucks, whatever you want, in that range, right? So you're up now 5 times. 5x in a year. So it's just the market has a way of figuring all of this out. Whenever there's a supply issue, they just make more, okay? So I think Citron's right. They might be early, but eventually these stocks will come down, and you don't want to be caught holding the bag. So again, for me, I think now with this report out there, it is going to start to sway a little bit of the opinion of the broader market. You could get another report coming out potentially on Micron. I would stay short, and if I was long and you haven't trimmed yet, or maybe you have, this would be a little bit of a warning sign right there. So, just hearing something else about Trump, but it's nothing. It was Carney with the pipelines, something about Carney with pipelines there. Okay, so anyways, Micron, I like the stock, yes, but I think we got to start to favor some shorts. So, 440. If you missed that top, you missed it, but nothing wrong with getting something out around 420 right now on Micron. All right, Sharif, what's the next one?
All right, let's talk about this pipeline thing. Canadian pipeline company Southbow considering a new project that would revive part of the Keystone XL pipeline. This is according to sources. Prime Minister Mark Carney knew of Southbow's plans for a partial Keystone XL revival when he floated the pipeline idea to Trump. This is being cited by Canadian government source unnamed. Separately, people were asking what's going on with these NAND names. Morgan Stanley with a note midday here, that's February 24th, basically critical of the NAND demand and basically some of these memory names. We had the short report, of course, from Citron Research this morning, but looks like there's another research note here from Morgan Stanley, basically making a bit of a bear case here against some of these names. I'll read you some of the quotes. While AI-driven storage demand is extending the industry upcycle, we see limited upside for module vendors given the constrained NAND supply and FIFO-driven margin monetization and weakening consumer SSD demand and elevated NAND prices. That comes vis-a-vis vis-a-vis Morgan Stanley. Let's go on to the next topic, though. It is AAPL. Apple up nicely on the day. Several headlines. The first one was that they were looking at moving the Mini production, the Mac Mini production from Texas to Asia to expand the Houston facility. Separately, Morgan Stanley was focusing today in their research note on Apple's App Store revenue. They forecast growth and Mac strength. We know that Apple is going to have a 3-day event, the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th next week, where one of the products that they're expecting to announce is going to be a very cheap MacBook. $799 is the expected price, as well as revamped MacBook Pros. Separately, Apple shareholders greenlit executive pay, and they rejected the China proposal to audit Apple's operations in China. And then CEO Tim Cook later came out and said that he continues to plan for annual increases in Apple's dividend. Guys, Apple up 2.25 on the day.
The dividend's nice, but it's not very big with Apple, and I don't think it's why anybody owns the stock. It's not necessarily a needle mover, but you know what? This was a day where I like the cut of Apple's jib, right? Like, it was one of those, most of the times if we're getting a rebound day in some of the other, in the chip stocks and some of the risk tech, it's been Apple that isn't as strong, and then Apple's relatively strong when some of those other names are weak. Today, Apple just decides, okay, well, Nasdaq's up 1, we got 2. And this was, I think that's a welcome sight. The fact next week's event for Apple isn't very likely to give this new Siri update that everyone wants and is excited about. That's still speculated to be a little bit later on in the year. But the key thing is it hasn't cost them a boatload to do it. And they're still selling a lot of physical devices. So when software gets hit, they got a little bit of a moat around them, and just in this current circumstance. So yeah, I like Apple. I didn't like it today. It just didn't feel like it. It was diddling in the middle. It didn't seem like a classic breakout. If anything, I know what I said this morning, which was it felt like it was probably more of a dip buy into Apple, just looking at the structure of it, and then it turned into one clean breakout and nothing else. Because you could have, there was a little bit of a dip buy in there, but you could have just shorted in front of the 275, and that would have been your best bet. It's not doing a thing this afternoon. What you need to do this afternoon is get back to VWAP if you like the long at a bare minimum. Usually I'd be thinking short VWAP here. My eyeballs are on silver. Silver's not getting back up there. Might have to adjust where we try to get that one to the short side. But I like Apple, like the moat. I don't necessarily think it's you got to buy this one up here. I think usually you want to buy Apple when people are hating on Apple. That's your best opportunity for sure. So I think the dip buy probably a little bit gone, but I do think we get back into those all-time highs. And this is one of the few names that isn't doom or gloom if Nvidia is red tomorrow.
Yeah, no, I think Apple can survive no matter what. And we wait for, actually, I meant to check my phone to see about when the next update's going to be kicking around for that. All right, look, today is a very special day because we have the Trader TV Live Academy that has just launched. We have that QR code. Make sure you do scan it right here. This is your, sort of your gateway, your entry into the minds of at least the 4 of us right here today with Brendan, Sharif, myself, and Neil, Joe involved. Here's the trader's journey. This is the library here. So journey, the basics, the software, real trades. So what I was doing was I was just sort of perusing through the library. You can click on the library right here, go into Knowledge Hub, right? And once you select into this is where it gets really interesting. Now you can start breaking down and looking for everything that we're talking about. This is where you'll find your journal. And look at this. If you want to go over a lesson, order risk management, volatility indicators, this is the kind of stuff you guys have asked for. Volume concentration, average true range, all of these different things. You click on it, and then boom, you're going to get into a indicator here. You're going to get into our videos, what are closed orders, what is LFT, all these things, all these explanations, volatility indicators coming up next. So, get your way into this. This is like sort of your way. It's why it's called an academy. This is how you can learn to become, hopefully, a better trader and doing it with us here live every single day. So, thank you to everybody that's been supporting the Academy. We are very, very excited, needless to say.
And appreciate the feedback.
Yeah, about releasing it here today. So check it out. Go have a look. Scan the QR code to get involved with Trader TV
Scan that, everybody.
Academy. Yeah, get your phone out, Neil, and start scanning it, man. Neil, you should sign up again. Sign up again, and get that, and just redo everything, and then let us know how it is. But all of us have done the Academy a few times, built it for you. We're really proud about it. So get in there, check it out, and let us know what you think. All right, Sharif, that was Apple.
It was Apple.
So maybe are we going to go back to? Are we going to go to crypto? What is next over here?
Tesla next.
It's Tesla, Sean. I promise you Tesla was on the watch list. And today, we obviously had the bad European numbers come out in the morning, but this came out midday. In fact, when it got on the desk, Tesla set to raise the price of the Cybertruck dual motor after the 28th of February. Guys, there's only 4 days left for our American friends to buy the dual motor Cybertruck at $59,990. I don't have the exact price, the new price that's going to be the case here coming up on the 28th, guys. So it looks like Elon Musk cutting the price of the Cyber Beast, but increasing the price of the dual motor Cybertruck just a couple of days later. Tesla up 2%.
I just kind of assumed that they would both go down. But, I mean, ultimately, does the Cybertruck matter for Tesla? I don't think so. I don't think it moves the needle. I don't think that's what people are looking to. That's not where the growth is. If this breaks $500, it's going to be because we get wowed by what Optimus might do in the future. They've got the good stack, they've got the good training, and the potential there, I think, is large. And people are looking past the automotive business. All of that said, it averted the breakdown today. So like I was looking at the 200 period moving average today, sort of thinking, okay, well, it's 390. That'll be the bounce spot. We didn't end up testing that today at all, but you get a nice reprieve here. It's holding that support, and that's pretty key. There are a host of stocks this week that this particular level, in this moment, whether you're talking about the November support or the 200 period moving average, they've already lost it. So if you're still bouncing there, then you're doing something right. And I still think they're doing something right. I'm not a buyer up here. I think if you lose the 200 period moving average, I'm waiting for like the 300s for Tesla, because I do think the bigger things are probably announcements later on down in the year for Tesla.
So today, Pikachu, I choose you, and Tesla, you are on the list. So today, this is like a hit list. We got the sticky note out, AMD, SLV, TQs, and then down here was Tesla. Key level break, that's all that I was really looking at. I was kind of ignoring all the news and everything that was going on and just looking at 400. And I mean, this is where, what's up, Wendy's trade in the chat goes, yo, where's the dollar club at? This was 10. So we went long down here. We just had to actually let it settle out just a little bit during the morning, right? So it actually came in and started to rip without us there, and we wanted the 400 break, and I actually had that order set up, and it did trigger in the pre-market, but the order type that I use does not go out in the pre-market. So that's important. So I don't want to get involved in the pre-market. So once it comes back down in, we're like, all right, there's enough juice for it to break. Let's see those opening order imbalances settle themselves out. They came back in. We basically just started to buy VWAP, the 200 period moving average, although VWAP is a little bit higher, right into there, playing it off of that low, and the rest, thankfully, is history. And we just started to rip up almost immediately on Tesla. We started taking $1, $2, $3. That's 401. A lot of outs here because it looked like we were starting to bounce around a little bit, around 403. Then all of a sudden we were just like, okay, if this is going to work, we're going to have to let it go. And we had about 30-40% left for this big move to the upside, in which our best out is 407.50 out of our lowest bid is 397.80, so almost 950 or so right there. Then as it came back out, we stopped out once it broke. At that time, it was either the 50 or the 25 period, but getting out of our last couple percentage points right there. When we noticed that it was stalling out, and just boom, back down in, and wouldn't surprise me if Tesla kept going, but instead it bounces so smooth, so silky smooth off of that 200 period moving average. So there it was there it is there it is there. To say something else, here it is there, and boom. So it was just like beautiful trading today on Tesla. So no doubt about that as we look for more love on Tesla. Then we just got that story right here All right, we can talk about this. Super chat coming in. I just wanted to say the volume picked up right here on Tesla. And that was the story.
NTH.
I don't know if you're hearing that, but it's
I'm not hearing anything in my
United. I'm hearing it right now from Benzinga. They're sending in 12 F-22 stealth bombers or something. Are on way right now, is what I heard. But I don't. We'll just wait for it. Like I said. Okay, Adara has the story, so let's go to Adara.
CNN reporting that the U.S. is deploying stealth F-22 fighter jets to Israel. So that's what's happening here. CNN reporting that apparently some stealth F-22 fighter jets will be deployed to Israel. Back to you.
All right, so hopefully it's just a defense thing and not like we're going to start to attack. But and thing is, too, tonight is
State of the Union.
I was going to say tonight is State of the Union, so we will get it all. Oh, I see someone say eat it sashimi style. Yeah, tilapia was okay. I never asked you.
Yeah.
It's good. Okay.
Well,
yeah.
I gave it like a 6.7 out of 10.
Why 6.7? Why you have to do that?
Well, that's.
Fine, then I'll give the salmon a 7.6.
No, the last time with the non-maple.
The maple was good. I thought.
Teriyaki was actually a little bit better. It
Okay.
just could. I don't know. It was.
Salmon had the maple. I thought that was actually a nice touch, to be honest.
There was a couple of super chats because I saw one thrown up there that wasn't even the one that I was going to get at. There we can. JKL, $5. Thank you very much for the super chat. Looking for a pullback and volatility in the Qs going into the State of the Union and Iran news, SQQ. So you're looking for weakness in the market going into.
I just don't know that bombs over Baghdad. Shout out to Outcast.
This is the problem.
I don't know if that means negativity for the markets, to be honest with you. It might even be more certainty, if anything.
At this point, I do feel like there's a really large expectation that we could see some serious action taken, and maybe that's a little bit priced in. Like, that would be my concern. That said, if you're at real trading, I can imagine the boys that love to trade, or anybody that loves to trade on Blue Ocean or OTC Moon, shout out to Jeff Mendel, this would be a night that you want to look at. That you want to look at some of those defense names. You maybe want to look at the Qs. If you're a Blue Ocean trader and you're an aftermarket trader, you like the day after Nvidia reports, or in the evening after like an Apple event, like it's something like big news. Elon's making some big news in Tesla trades. So you're going to want to look at the futures this tonight. You're going to want to look at defensives. I don't know how. Look, I don't trade Blue Ocean myself, so I couldn't tell you whether Lockheed Martin's going to have a good volume. We know Nvidia does. We know Tesla does in the aftermarket, but. I think it's worth a look. Let's get back. We have two more super. I think at least one more super chat, if not two more. Okay, so YK, do you think Intel is overextended? Oh, so I answered this one in the chat to you. And my answer is I actually didn't technically follow my rule, or not my rule, but my note today, because I was only, like I initially played the short back into VWAP, right? Like it was underneath $45, so that was, okay, that's good. Underneath 45, it's an over-under level, short it. So shorted that lower high there. It bounced off VWAP. I stopped out, so I did everything pretty much to plan, except for the part that said, well, over 45, it's a reversal and it's a breakout long, because now it's breaking out over 45. It's up 6%. There was a positive news story this morning, and it's bouncing off the 50-period moving average. So it pulled back. You're downtrending in. It didn't fall apart underneath. If you're bearish, I think giving it a chance to lose the major moving average on momentum is fair. You take a shot, but when it bounces, you got to get into the reverse as well, and I think there's room for it to at least retest that 50. 50's been a sell for a while, and I don't see necessarily what changes if Intel gets there. And it does look Intel's been a bullish stock. So when it reverts this downward trend from 50 here off the 50 period, why not let it go a little bit further? Like I would think a little bit of continuation, at least until we get to that resistance for sure. So yeah, that was. Oh, and there's another one. City Boy.
Head and shoulders on the weekly chart. Okay, you call up. I just want to, Neil, look at the weekly chart just quickly. I just want to say here, because people are talking about Palantir, and, you know, obviously the U.S. government here, you know, using a lot of equipment from Palantir, and, you know, to assess drones and strikes and exact locations, you know, a big use of that. So if there is anything, maybe you could see Palantir, and you're getting a little bit of a boost in volume, but nothing too crazy. I just want to say, like, a lot of this, what we're going to be reporting on here, especially when it comes to State of the Union, Iran, and whatever happens out there. A lot of it, I think, is pretty baked in. And I don't want to say like why did, come on, man, this mouse. Why did Palantir do this? You know, like, so you got to really think like there's been some pretty big sell-offs in the name. So you just got to be careful trying to play stories that really haven't happened yet, although we do know, obviously, that Palantir will be a big part of any sort of defense story. You just got to be careful, like maybe Northrop Grumman, NOC, or something like that. We can maybe wrap our head around a little bit, or Boeing, or, you know, something that's, you know, air-related. But remember, Palantir, Big Bear AI, a lot of these names are still stuck in that whole, you know, AI downside swing trade. So just be careful with all of that. And let me see if Boeing did anything. We're going to go over to Adaira. She has more news on all of this. But, you know, no surprise to me, probably no surprise to all of us that, you know, a lot of this is happening here at the State of the Union. We expect him to definitely discuss this whole situation. So maybe nothing before then, but probably a lot of action tomorrow, or in Blue Ocean or Moon, as Neil had mentioned there, after hours trading. And actually, here at Real Trading, and again, sign up with the Academy. You know, getting access to P Pro 8 and these markets and just understanding the opportunities that are available to you are huge, right? A lot of traders won't just sit here like we do and punch keys. There's a lot of opportunities, and what that starts with is education, understanding spreads, understanding how fees work, understanding psychology of the markets, and a lot of that is right there. Start your journey today. Scan that QR code, be part of Trader TV Academy, and it's a special introductory offer, so get it right now, $480. Can't beat that. Go get it, sign it up, check it out. It's Trader TV Live Academy. Adaira, I know you're running through the Academy as well, but what's the story you want to give us?
Yeah, thank you. Shout out to the Academy and shout out to this market. I do want to mention here more context in the CNN story with regards to fighter jets. So here's the full headline here. F-22 fighter jets reportedly are going to be deployed to a base in southern Israel. They'll be positioned to help Israel intercept launches from Iran-backed Houthis in Yemen. So it is part of this Iran, albeit I guess more indirectly, this U.S.-Iran tensions here. Again, this is reported by CNN, though they are citing the Israeli media. Back to you.
There, I just found it. Put up. We'll leave it up there for you guys to read it. But did you find out about that Head and Shoulders? It kind of looks.
Well, so I was going to get to that super chat, and it was there's a couple more. All right, now we have I think 3 super chats, 2 more after this. City Boy was just want y'all to see this Head and Shoulders in the weekly chart. Can you confirm? Can you confirm, por favor? So I'm not a charter market technician. So it's really about what does it mean? And yeah, it's prior resistance going into the high break, and now you get the same resistance. This is that 194 top that's been there for weeks on Nvidia. So absolutely, it has the profile. It doesn't have to look exactly like a Head and Shoulders. All it means is you made a recent high, and you're making another hump on the other end of it, and it's there. It doesn't automatically mean bearish unless it loses support, though. Well, that's the thing. Like, it's got high or low support going into it, so it's very well possibly a breakout if we can get through. I think you have to remember that these indicators can be confluence for a trade. Like, I would say that if we break down from here, then maybe you like a swing short a little bit better because you know where your resistance line is going to be. Not so much that every Head and Shoulders is going to turn into, it has to do this because I saw that. So yeah, I see the same thing as you do, but I care more about it from the, looking at it on the daily, like what this gives you for potential trade. Like day traders like that breakout at a 194. Even if it ends up being like a scalp trade into 200 that day, and never does anything more for you. As a day trader, it's like, well, it's been coiling up for weeks now, so you want to see that breakout eventually happen. Speaking about breakouts eventually happening, VWAP is continuously not happening on SLV until we were distracted. So I got to slap to fail. Part of that is because I looked up and I'm like, it didn't get to VWAP. I'm like, yes, it did, Neil, because my black chart has VWAP a little bit off, that's my mistake. No, silver did get into the volume weighted average price. I might play a lower high or something at 79 before it even gets there, but I am looking to still jump into that outside. I know we had a couple more super chats. Andre, you can throw them up there. Just keep them coming because we missed a couple. DRS is the defense name. Thank you, Anton Car down there. Appreciate you. Beats estimates across the board up 17%. We always say that Leonardo, there is a bull market somewhere. It's not going to be a day trade stock at all, but it is a breakout. And this is sort of the other side. This is the other side of the coin, right? Like everyone's going to be excited to trade Nvidia tomorrow, which rightfully you should be. But there's a host of other names that don't get talked about, whether they're defense names, whether they're energy names. Anyone pull up a chart of Constellation or GEV the last couple of weeks? If you think that the AI trade is great, well, they've been just fine if NVIDIA is doing absolutely nothing. And so, yeah, in the defense space, I don't wonder tonight if it's not ring the register a bit in some of these names. I don't know. There's so much anticipation that you're supposed to get this spike because there's going to be a strike. Is it going to matter? Is it already happened? Is my first thought. Like if we priced this in,
that's what I was thinking.
We priced it in, and it shouldn't. I don't know. That's where my head's feeling like because we've been talking about it for so long. Donnie Zimbabwe. Hey, it's been a minute, Donnie.
Yeah, it's been a minute. He's 20 months. I just saw this guy member for 20 months. Shout out to Donnie Zimbabwe over there.
20 months.
20 months, eh? Not bad, not bad.
You've got calls, zero-day options at 6:05. Well, obviously you're talking about a strike. You got rid of most around 11 a.m. Should you drop the rest? So
talking about calls at 6:05.
You're talking about Qs, obviously.
What stock? Oh, Qs?
Well, I mean, that's a fair assumption.
Yeah. Qs are at 6:07.
Right? I mean, I'm making assumptions here. I mean, you want to ring the register on the rest or not? Like you look at the momentum right now. This is actually also a head and shoulders on the 3-minute chart. What does it look like on a 15? Yeah, you're into some overhead resistance. You got the State of the Union tonight. Do we really think we're punching through this top from the last week? I see your point. I'm not overly, this afternoon, I can't say I'm feeling like we had this big, massive breakout coming. The overhang of the State of the Union tonight and then NVIDIA earnings tomorrow makes me feel more boring range-bound afternoon. So, you've already taken some out there, so I can't blame you if you want to try to hold for more. It doesn't feel like we got too much going here in the market. Airy pages, this is a good point. I say this all the time. I should explain what it means, even though I'm not one. By the way, can you tell us what a chartered market technician is? It's a CMT. Heard you use the term a few times over the past year. Figured all profitable day traders are chartered market technicians. No, you're not. It's an actual technical thing.
Actually, all not profitable day traders are chartered market technicians.
It's an actual course that you can do, right? So I have not done it, but it is an actual designation. You can get like a CFA. Apparently, you can get a CMT as well. So you learn chart technicals. Now, when starting trading, and this is something that you'll find true for those of you that are signing up for the Academy, you can scan the QR code right here. You understand that charts are one of the tools that you use in the market. There's the level 2. There's the time and sales. And again, there's the imbalance locator. These are all tools that we use for us. There can be fundamentals. Right? Like these are, it's one tool.
Neil, why don't we? Okay, go on about that.
It's one of many tools, but you have to grasp them all. Now, you might say that the NBA is now a 3-point shooting game. So the only thing that matters to me is my proficiency.
And a tanking game. You got to get that number 1.
Don't get me started about the tanking.
That's been like that for 10 plus years.
Been a problem.
It was LeBron James. How long has that guy been in the league?
But you know what? If no one respects your ability to actually dribble past them, like if you can't dribble the basketball, you can be the best 3-point shooter the world has ever seen. But if you literally can't dribble the basketball,
got to start somewhere. Yeah.
Then no one's going to respect you. And so if you don't understand just even like basic tape movement, like what the bid and the ask means, how to basically even the basics of reading tape, so that you can execute positions and entries and exits, then I don't see how you're charting. I mean, look, anyone can do anything, but like even that, that basic skill is going to matter too to even help you if charting is going to be everything. So yeah, it's an actual designation. I don't have it. I only ever use it in the context of I'm no chartered market technician. I'm not trying to mock chartered market technicians. I'm just saying I'm not one. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I always think it's valuable to, understand, because Brian Shannon's not going to be with us today, but he's one, Michael Noss is one. So I was going to say is maybe we ask them the question about what's the, the number one skill or whatever that they learned, through the CMT course, or, how has it benefited them in their day trading? What I noted is a lot of CMTs that we talk to actually don't day trade the way that we do here. I think and again, we'll talk to Michael about this, or Brian, or somebody else that we have on that maybe is a CMT. And I think it's a lot of swing trading. It's a lot of looking at, charting and this versus that. JC Peretz has been on our show a little bit as well. But I think, most of, everything you can learn is actually when you're in the fire. There's not much I always look at it, and again, not to throw smoke on people that only make trades based on charts, but charting is nice, man. It's a nice picture of the story. A lot of trading is going to be that mental game psychology, making sure you're trading the right stocks at the right time. Looking, if you can find me a strategy where I can buy or sell something based on an indicator and I'll actually be profitable on it, then please just hit me up in my DM. We'll code something and we'll all get super rich, right? So find that for me. You'll notice a lot of CMTs and not. It does help when selling books and different things like that. So I think it just gives a little bit of credibility to your name, which is great. I mean, that's honestly what you want, right? I mean, just because you have a teaching degree doesn't mean you're the world's greatest teacher or anything like that. So, you got to think about it like that. And that's why, honestly, why we did bring out the Academy is there's so many different aspects. There's that whole section on psychology. There's risk management. You could be a great chart reader, but if you can't manage risk, that would be a completely different situation. So
there was a dude in our training.
Yeah, what's a book?
I won't name any names and he was super smart guy, right? And absolutely dedicated to the markets. I mean, in a huge way. And he had this uncanny ability to, in the morning when we're having the coffee and the pastries that we get for free as trainees, that's all you get, but you didn't get the lunch.
Oh, as
you
trainees.
get a lot of pastries as trainees because you didn't get the lunch, you just only got the pastries. So we're in the morning and you'd be talking about, and he would, at 80% of the time, he called the direction of the market on the day. Would you believe he wasn't a profitable trader? No, and it's not to throw any shade, but it also was the execution factor. Because the problem is, the days that he was wrong, he was way wrong because he literally didn't have an out. He's like, I call the direction right, so the day that I don't have the direction right, he just sit there until he was shut down on every position. If he was in and he was wrong, he was shut down. And it was that simple. But if the day he was right and had the direction right, is he holding for the entire day? Probably not. And that's what it came down to. So he just didn't have the execution strategy, or maybe he was reading the tape. Who knows? There was something that could have been missing for him. I wish I knew the answer, but this was people that are always trying to guess, is it someone that's been on the show before? No, this was in 2003. My guess is the person moved on a long time ago. And a great guy, super smart. He had a very good way of being able to sort of analyze the charts and whatever and the sentiment to get a good idea of direction. But it was never enough, just never enough. There was that risk management aspect that, for whatever reason, it just didn't work for him because he couldn't be wrong, unfortunately.
I was going to say right here, so I just put it here in DM me on X. That's going to be the best way. So x.com, TraderTV, Sean. And I would love to look at some of your codes or whatever, your strategies, and we can talk about how to make it better. And like I was saying, I think a lot of it is time frame based, right? So you got to figure out, some people in there buy when the RSI gets here on the daily, and that might not work intraday, but I think there's a lot of good strategies for swing trading. That is for sure. All right, man, let's go. I found an opportunity that I like. I think this Alibaba, you just tanked right into VWAP and bounced off of it. Let's see one more test. I want to go long here. I think it will hold VWAP again. The market's not really doing anything right now. I want to try to get Alibaba if we can get it around this 150-250. That may not come in. Also, JPMorgan, an interesting level to trade off of right now as well. JPMorgan just made the move in, and I'm trying to figure out about this, 297. It looks like a decent area. We dropped out, and boy, did we lose the bid early on JP, but we're coming back in right now, and you would think that I'm looking at this as maybe a long, but I'm actually looking at it as a short. You get a hit there, back in. Look at it on the if I can get this to go. Look at it on the 1 minute chart right here. We've now underneath the 200, underneath the 50, underneath the 25. So you're starting to push lower right now in bank, in JPMorgan. So, you know, definitely worth a look potentially at a short for JPMorgan as we're now underneath everything. And if you're gonna look at a short of JPMorgan, let's go over to our friend SoFi. It's not so high, it's actually so low right now, SoFi. It's at a great price, down at 18 bucks, potentially something to look at for SoFi. This one also doesn't look as good as JPMorgan on the sell side right now. You still have VWAP you could bounce off of. This is possibly a good long area there, but I think just from a preference area for me, I'm actually looking at that trade that I just gave to you, JPMorgan, and I actually do think it is worth a little bit of a short call here on JPM. So looking to do this, that is 297.50 or so. We're getting pretty close. I understand that there's a decent there's a decent opportunity here to float back up because of the spread. So I think we could try to be a little patient and wait for something like this, 297.20s, 297.25. Let's put an offer there and see if we can grab it. JPMorgan, I just saw Power Hour.
It happened.
I didn't hear it again, but I did see it. I'm gonna take the word that it's there on Power Hour. So get ready to rock. Are you guys hearing that?
There's no sound.
So I just want to confirm, do you guys hear that? Because we don't, it doesn't matter. Just want to know if you guys did. All right, so I'm going to try to.
The worst part is you hear me do it. You see me doing this as if like maybe it's just my hearing and I'm not hearing it in my earpiece. No,
I'm sure they hear it.
Oh, you guys hear it?
Okay, good.
It's really quiet.
Because then it goes Power
Well, then what's
Hour.
the point? It should be like Power Hour.
That is what it says. That is.
Yeah, but you gotta.
Yeah, you got to
some oomph
like
in
amplify it. Yeah,
Like that should make you like jump scare with my.
Weak
with my
sauce.
daughter.
You almost scared me right there. That was a good one.
Oh, my daughter jumps. She's all about the jump scare.
Is she? She should watch Friday Night at Freddy's.
But she be trying to mess me up when I come home. I'm like,
yeah,
man, I'm trying to.
Have you? No, but you know that movie, Friday Night at Freddy's? It's a jump scare thing. No, it's good.
Yeah?
It's not even that. I don't know what the ratings are on it. I don't think it's.
Isn't that Josh Hutcherson?
I don't know.
In the
Which
movie?
thing am I watching?
Okay.
I don't know who that is.
Netflix, Prime.
Friday. I don't know where it's located.
I'm guessing Prime.
Hunger Games?
Guess.
I don't know. I think it's.
Friday.
Dara, I don't know who's in the movie. I can go look it up. But, anyways, it's called Five Nights.
Five Nights at Freddy's.
Five Nights at Freddy's, and there's two of them, and they're not really that scary.
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, but it's not free on Amazon.
Yeah, whatever. I'll find out where it's playing here. But it's not bad. Anyways. All right, so I'm now short. We got a new position. We're short JPMorgan, like we said. So I'm just going to try it basically against, maybe it'd be the 50-period moving average, 297.62. Let's see if we can rock and roll with that right now. Do Canadians watch State of the Union? I will be watching it for sure.
Well, I mean, if you follow the markets, you watch.
Yeah, I think it'll be, you might catch some of the highlights.
Yeah, like I usually watch it in the morning because I go to
be
bed
up.
early.
I'll be
But I watch it usually on the train in the morning. But yeah, Canadians that care about.
I mean, like why would
Jews in
Canadians
business.
not watch it? Like, this is the thing. Like, so much out there. I don't want to say like Americans are like this is something that's only for the United States, but. You know, a lot of what your president is talking about is very global these days.
You think?
So we are very concerned and about what he has to say because, and plus, obviously for us here,
it matters.
We're very excited to watch it because of the content for our job.
I'm willing to bet that, and some traders will.
I think any
traders
investor
might be trading as well. Like there could be moves in crypto.
Yeah, why not?
Moving defense names.
Why not? I mean, yeah, that's the other thing too. If you're trading, I would really suggest, looking at a blue ocean or trying to see if your brokers, if you're just sitting around watching it, just open up your app or a platform if you're on a laptop or whatever you're doing, wherever your desk is or your work area, and see if there's anything that's moving when that happens, so that next time you're prepared for it. I think that's all that it is about. It's not about like predicting what's going to happen. It's just be about being ready for what does wind up happening. Okay, I don't know if there's going to be a fleshy downside or not, but I'll bid some 90s, see if we get something out here on JPMorgan. We were going to we were going to reload it a little bit if it came back up to this spot, but we started the trade. So we have like quarter of a unit, something like that. It's not a huge position, but we are going to see if it does want to get a little lower there for JPMorgan. And honestly, man, I don't think there's anything wrong with targeting 296, something like that in and around VWAP, especially if we can hit this one. So yeah, we're gonna try it, and you know, nothing but a try here on JPMorgan. And if we do wind up stopping out, I mean, I've been using the 200 period. That's a little high up for me there, 297 and change. I don't want to let this thing just drift higher and I wind up getting stopped out. So I'm going to use this downtrending 50 period moving average. That's at 60. Now, mind you, we could get a little slippage. Let's just stop out if it breaks 70, but at that point, maybe we'll use 80. As you can see, the way I operate, and I think most of us do, is like looking for an out basically even before we've even gotten filled, you know? So we got to make sure that if this does run against us, where are our outs? What are we, there we go. What are we talking about here as well? So we'll hit the salmon winner dinner that we had today so far. And here it comes back in. So there it is, man. We just gave this trade to you, and here we go again. It's a nice move, baby. Let's go, JPMorgan. All right, JP, you know what? Hey, I'll take a 70 if you're going to give it to me. We'll join this little lineup right here at 78, see if it whooshes down and gives it to us. It's a 30-cent winner right now. We'll see if we can cake a little bit more if it goes to the downside. So already 1-to-1 on this. We need it to print a little lower there, but that's what I'm doing, sitting here trading. And yeah, I don't want to use a lot of shares unless something actually starts happening, but I'll take it right there for me. And we'll see if we can just sort of start stacking it up and pay for this Tim Hortons coffee, which very soon I have about a third left.
Free one.
So I'm gonna. I won a donut already on the app, but we don't want to grab a donut, man. I want to get the drink. Hey, I'll get a donut. I'll get you a.
I was gonna say
get you a fritter.
about that.
Yeah, I'll hook you up.
I need to eat really healthy.
Okay, so I will not get you.
It's my daughter's birthday tomorrow. We had the party over the weekend, and there was a lot of extra cake, which I've been eating a lot of cake.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I will get you that apple fritter then.
And you know when it's like, the cake is a design cake?
Yeah, of course.
So like it looks really good, but it tastes okay. That's just my kind of thing.
That's what it is. I just got another bid out at 92 there.
Yeah, market's starting to come back in a little bit.
Yeah.
Yes, QQQ Donnie, I'm assuming, did you get out? I would assume, because it's like you were long, right? So you're taking that profit. It looks like we're kind of rolling over a little bit here.
Was it the long or the short? Because why would he be cheering for it going down?
Well, maybe he covered. I thought he had, it was 605, right? So he would have been in the money there. And we're gonna go to there in a quick little second. I'm looking for 78.5 just to play the $0.50 range here in silver. So SLV. People get mad if you say silver when talking about SLV. It's ETF. So we're going to reload this if we get back into 79. And we've got a super chat. We'll get to Adara and then come right back with that super chat, Nick Dubs.
I'll be speedy, or as speedy as I can be, but keep an eye here on NVDA. Nvidia, apparently a Commerce Department official saying that, to their understanding, no H200s have been sold to China yet. So as we kind of suspected, these China sales very much lagging. Once again, NVDA on watch after we get reported comments from a U.S. Commerce Department official saying that, to their understanding, there has not been any H200 sold to China. Back to you.
Yeah.
The funny thing is people say clean desk is a clear mind in the chat. I'm like, I don't know if that has not been all that true for me. It's actually cleaner now that we do the show. Nick Dubs, KMI bouncing off trend line support on the weekly. Okay, let's have a look at Kinder. Okay, hit enter too fast, and that just went to Blue Ocean. There we go, Kinder Morgan. And why not? Pipeline action. Let's see what's going on. Oh my goodness, that is really good. Well, you're gonna make me draw it. That's a pretty steep. That's a pretty steep trend line support. But it is a bottoming tail candle. There's your bottoming tail candle that, in theory, would be bouncing. Oh, you're saying the weekly, not the daily. Here, that maybe it does look better on the weekly. But there is also one on the daily as well. So there you go. Well, it would be the same thing. It's going to be effectively the same line. You're getting a topping tail where it's bouncing off the support line on daily or the weekly. But remember, on that time frame, that just gives you an event that's happened, and then you got to go in. Okay, well now if I'm bullish, if it holds X level, you got to come in the next day and be like, okay, well what am I doing with that information? So it's held with a bit of a bottoming tail on that trend line, which is holding support. But tomorrow, like, what's the trade? Like, would it be this 3260 breakout at the open? You have to make that determination as well going into tomorrow, outside of just that pattern we saw on the chart. So I see you, and certainly you're looking in the right place for a little bit of strength. Oh, but then remember, does anything matter in energy and defense right now? Like, what does the technical thing matter if tonight we got the State of the Union and oil price could be going out of hand? Like, there's so much that can happen tonight that I don't know how much I'd be leaning into technicals because you're going to get that overnight risk going into the State of the Union. So you have to factor that in as well. It's like a technical setup going into earnings. Well, that's all well and good, but none of it's going to matter. It's good if it's like a level that's far away from the event, right? Like it's 10% down is your key support level going into earnings or going to a news event. But if it's right there showing you the setup the night before earnings, technicals aren't going to make that much of a difference in that spot. So yeah, KMI, not bad. So we're still kind of maybe heading to the downside. Oh, there was one other thing I wanted to look at. It was going to be Intel, because Intel is doing this. Intel, the big pullback off 46, kind of resumed trend here. You have some loose higher lows, and it's forming a bit of a, you get the first sustained pullback. If it does not break back higher, like to me, it goes sideways, I want to look for the breakdown. Like it did it here, went sideways, but it broke up. If it can break down from here, I want to look for a short into the volume weighted average price. Silver is starting to work. There were no big names to watch out for on like tonight. There's no index actions or anything, but there's a few names already at 310 that are over $1 million on the imbalance locator. CV's $3 million to sell. NEM is $1.6 million to sell. UiPath is $1.2 million to the buy side early. So some early looks that are decent size, worth keeping an eye on, maybe especially UiPath. That's a pretty volatile name. That's one they can move around. Shout out to Kathy Wood. Still, I think one of their top holdings. I have no idea. I haven't checked in a while. I haven't gone to Kathy's ARC in a while, so I should.
Unity is getting crushed. That's
I should say, like, I don't even know whether that's one of her big holdings. I know it used to be.
Yeah.
Unity, but Unity was part of the whole gaming smash.
Yeah, they're down
squad.
61% year to date. Okay, so here we go, man. We got. I guess we didn't. Well, I guess we reloaded. We have a thing for that. I don't know. We're trying to go against this 50-period moving average rate there. So we're gonna take a couple more shorts. We just, I'm short here at 22, trying to cover a little bit here as we get into the downside. We'll see if we put something, around 8s or 9s. We'll join that little level here and see if someone picks us up. There it is. Yes, sir. Let's go, man. The face slapper is in right now as we get to the down. Oh yeah. Let's go, everybody. We're here and we are trading, and we are more than happy to be here with everybody and doing exactly that. We just grabbed a 98 there as it's floating to the downside. We grabbed some O's. Let's see if we can rock and roll here with JPMorgan on the short. I was just about to say, I'm not even sure what was going on there because the futures were going one way and JPMorgan all of a sudden spiked up. So made me a little bit nervous. So we are going to start to piece this out. Hey, man, we're 30 cents in the money right now. Let's put out another bid. Yeah, buddy, we'll get some 90s and some 97s right there. So we're getting excited. You guys wanted to see this. So here it is, man. The energy is here. There's JPMorgan right now, 35 cents in the money. And our stop is 50s. We talked about that. So we're now 20 cents to 50 cents. Good sort of risk reward right there. We just put it on and we talked about why we liked it. So there it is, man. We searched around. We found some stock. We like it. I like it. It's JPMorgan. Let's see how low can we go now on this one. Hopefully lower, if you were to ask me. All right, so that's that. We're still going to stop out again. Let's just change our stop actually now because we've taken a little bit of profit on that. So I had it stopping at a break of 60s right there when we got going. Now we're there at 40. Let's just do that. 296.41. And guess what? This can now not be a... I put 290. You heard me say it live. 296.41. All right, regroup, my guy.
42 is the meaning of life.
All right, well, there it is, man. That was not a fat finger. That was just a stupid, dumbass mistake right there because you heard me. It should have been 297.41. So here we go. Now we're going to crack down. Hey, look, man, regardless, that was a trade that we had. We'll try to put it back on if it can come back up into that area. I want to make sure it's the right risk to reward. I don't know, what price did we get? 80, yeah, in 90s. So I guess I could go short again right now, but that was a little bit of a bonehead mistake there. And we'll see if we can get back into a little bit of a short. So there it is. Okay, so now we're short again, right at this level. We'll see if it goes. So now we can go Although we've already, oops, I almost did it again. 297. I just want to follow this. So it's still 40s. Okay, so 41. We'll get out of it if it goes through. But there we go, new position. Anyways, you guys know what we were talking about there. It still cannot be a losing trade no matter what winds up happening. Hopefully it goes a little bit lower. We always say that, right? If you're ever in a position where you're thinking, I punched out by accident, or you just made a bonehead move like I just did. What's up, everybody? That's where you want to say, hey, let me get back in, see if we can run the table again on this name. So here we go, JPMorgan. Hey, it's another profitable stock.
It's anchoring that gets people with that one, because you have to think about it this way. If you accidentally got out of your position, if you re-enter at that price, you think you have a worse price.
Right.
I'm like, but you also banked that profit. In theory, well, in this case, it would be sell. If you sell back in at the same price, you're in the same position you were before.
Yep.
It's just that you have to get past the mentality that your price is now worse, because you've already banked that part of the move. And I've seen it happens all the time to traders. But the other side is true. If you accidentally keystroke into a position, just get out. I can't tell you how many times traders try to turn an accident into, well, I'll just make it work because I happen to be in it. It doesn't make any sense. Like, it happens. If you trade long enough, it's going to happen to you that you'll punch into a position you didn't mean. I have 2 level 2s up. I hit the wrong one. I did it this morning, actually. Went to throw orders on one thing and punched into another accidentally. And just punched right out. It's like, you just do it. It happens. But silver did, SLV, I'm going to stop saying silver. I want people to complain. SLV got down into that 78.5. Immediately the buyer stepped in, so jumped out. We'll wait for it to get back into VWAP or 79. Show us another lower high. Show us a reason to get in. That's what we're going to try to do. A Save Man Woman said that used to happen to you a lot in 2002. Man, if you only were making keystroke errors 24 years ago and it hasn't happened since, congratulations to you. You just try to reduce it to 0 as much as you can. But that comes back to be honest, man, that comes right back into the academy. Like, I just pulled it down to show you the front page. The basics, the software, right? There's advanced course too, obviously, and first trades. And there's one thing that is in common there. It is nail the basics. I use the basketball analogy. The first thing you do is learn to dribble. Learn to move your feet.
I like that analogy.
Right? No, but in all seriousness, like, I don't care what kind of crazy crossover, work on the Euro step, or this nonsense pocket dribble, which is a carry that everyone's learning on.
Is that what it is?
Yes. They're basketball dumbass influencers that are seriously teaching you to dribble the ball back here and literally palm it and carry it.
But is the NBA, but are the refs calling that? Because I know it's very, very loose, I feel
in the NBA, they don't call jack. But you can't do it in high school. Where do you think most of these kids are probably playing? In high school. So like it's weird, but it's just learn the basics. It's the same thing for trading. And then when you hammer that down, then you don't have to worry as much. Like, you're just worrying about executing your plan and not hitting the right key, or which gateway am I going to use, or does the tape look good here? It comes to my short level. Is there buying or selling in the tape? How can I determine? If you focus on the right things, and some of it too is just screen time and hours. If you don't look at a level 2 and as it comes into your level and bounces off 78.5, like, it's pretty easy to see if the level 2 changes and more buyers start to emerge and you get out. And then you wait for the same thing to happen up at that top. Meha, I think, is asking about gold. So I'm showing silver slightly rolling back a little bit. Oddly enough, a little bit stronger. GLD is above VWAP. While off the highs a little bit, it is faring a little bit better. That said, we're still down. On the daily, this is worth mentioning. I know we favor the short right now in SLV, but on that daily, I just want to see where this goes. On the daily, this is holding prior support levels. So even on the dip, it's going to hold support to resistance here for GLD. So you have a bit of it looks like a bit of bottoming tail or liquidity grab. So as long as you hold the high or low, there could be some strength. I could see myself coming in maybe bullish. I don't know, because to be honest, anything technical, if it's metals, if it's energy, with the State of the Union tonight, I don't want to have too many preconceived notions for tomorrow based on what we see technically tonight, because your opinion's just going to change by tomorrow morning. So yeah, gold holding up better than silver right now for this afternoon. Like, I'll be looking to short silver again, not gold, not GLD, because this one's making lower highs and been trending down pretty much all afternoon, and gold hasn't.
I like how you mentioned get right back into the trade because that's exactly what we do. And now we have a hot dog cannon to celebrate with right here as we get that winner again on JPMorgan. We go short at 90. Now it's going to the downside. So yeah, man, do we like the trade? Yes, we do. As here goes JPMorgan right now, it's trying to get back to the downside. So again, like this is realistically, if we don't punch out, we got a little bit of a bigger winner. But the fact that we got back in means we can still support this position. So let's, I took some more out there at 75. That's these fills right there that we just took. So just watching it, see if this market wants to go. I mean, I really like JPMorgan. I mean, this is a position that I hold, and it's like the only, this and SoFi, the two banks. I know I own small Goldman Sachs. I know I always say it's really just JPMorgan. JPMorgan, primary position for me. And yeah, I really enjoy the stock, but don't enjoy this move down. And it's just breaking a little lower right now. I still like JPMorgan for the long term. Oh gosh, now I'm gonna wind up sneezing here. And last time I said this, I didn't wind up doing it.
Hold it.
Hopefully I'm trying to hold it. I'm trying to think about it.
Stay
My wife
on
said something
target.
about if you try to sneeze, you won't be able to. There was something like a wives' tale about that. So whenever my kids are like, I'm going to sneeze, she's like, well, I dare you to sneeze. And then
I've never heard that.
Doesn't really
before.
work.
I sneeze a lot. I'm going to try that.
Oh man, I sneeze a lot. I sneeze a lot. Shout out to my mom. She
Running
goes,
out
like,
of my allergy medic. I have like
fits.
one left.
Oh, that's one thing. I'm not allergic to anything. I'm pretty lucky for that one.
You saw too much dust up in this.
Yeah, right there. And you live in Brampton, which is Flower.
Oh, it's Flower.
Known as Flower Town.
Oh my God.
Right there. So you want to talk about that?
Can't leave and come back.
Just real quick, I just want to show you, we still want to watch out for this. So I'm still going to stop out if we break this 50-period moving average, which is now at 25. So I'm actually going to cancel and put that in right now. So I don't want to make this mistake again. 297, 26. So if that breaks upside, we will punch out of the remainder of this position, have about half left of our reload. It hasn't like been the greatest trade of all time or anything like that, but it was a good little move here in the afternoon as we entered power hour. You gave us that story about Nvidia and the chips into China. Well, Nvidia didn't even create volume spikes or anything. So, thanks to Dara for the story. Obviously, you want to keep your ear to the ground as we have a lot of shareholders that are invested in chip names, I would assume here, that are watching the show. But yeah, Nvidia not really doing a whole heck of a lot. And I actually had Alibaba up for a trade and wasn't able to get into it. That was like, so it hits right here on my scanner. Meta is right now. We can look at that. This is why we got JPMorgan. There's Alibaba down there hitting that. I like that. I don't even know who Wilhelm is, but I know that's the scream. So we say shout out to that. But there's the move down. Oh, did you confirm that that's who that was in Five Nights at Freddy's, by the way? Did I screw that up or that was?
Oh, I'm just like 95 point. I mean, I trust my memory. Okay, here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest, I trust my memory. It is him. But I have like a thing where sometimes I like second guess myself. It's Josh Hutcherson. I'm just gonna say it.
Okay. We'll go with 99.9%.
Yeah, but I know this.
Boom, Madeira.
What's this guy's? Okay, where do we know this guy from? We know this guy, right? What's his name?
Was he from Breaking Bad or something?
This is gonna buy. He's Shaggy. This is Shaggy from
what?
Matthew Lillard.
Scooby-Doo? I never watched no Scooby.
You didn't watch that? That was a.
There was anything wrong with that. I just never watched it.
That was so horrible. Oh,
Yeah,
he's also
people
in Scream too, apparently.
Okay.
But anyway.
Anyways, it's just a fun movie.
5 minutes.
It's fun. I think she might like it, but
Chat, do me a favor so I don't have to look it up. Which streaming
that would
program?
be different in Canada.
Oh, true. I just want to know which streaming program I'm supposed to watch Five Nights at Freddy's on. It has to be free somewhere.
Why is there not a website with that information?
No, I can ask ChatGPT. I can ask Gemini myself.
Okay. Do it.
I always do. It's just going to be what streaming platform.
Anyways, I went to the theater to watch that with my son, and then we went to the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 to watch that as well. That's where an usher came up to me and said when we were going in, he's like, sir, this is going to be really rowdy. There's going to be, there's a lot of kids in here, and it's going to be like one of those crazy things. So if it's too loud, I'm here with my son because this is how old I am. If it's too loud for you, you can come out, we'll refund you. I'm like what? Like, am I really like 70 years old over here? Like, if it's too loud for me? but I probably was the oldest one. It's like when the wife and I went to Travis Scott concert, everyone was looking around, thought I was like DEA or something like that, like I was a narc, trying to figure that all out. Meanwhile, I'm like puff, puff, pass. But no, we don't do that at a concert. Come on, what are you kidding me?
At a concert? No, absolutely not.
We're actually also going to Cardi B, which is coming up soon. And then we have Post Malone and Jelly Roll are doing a concert here in the summer. I don't know. Sharif just got concert tickets. I don't know who that was too, but he just got. It's on Netflix. Okay. When?
It was on.
Netflix.
I think it would be on it.
Yeah, so that was a lot of fun.
They're bad people.
Right there. Drugs are very
I
bad.
just heard something about QQQ, but it's not moving.
What isn't bad right here is this JPMorgan trade, man. That's a face slap right there as we go to the downside. And we've just been shorting JPMorgan this afternoon, just like we went long. Oh, someone in the chat goes, you guys are always shorting. You're never going long anything. Well, you were just short silver, so that was
When was the last time?
And here's the long right here. I mean, this is the biggest trade of the day, man. You know, there it is, $10. CoreWeave, something about loans.
That's what I heard too, but
okay, so your thing is working now. CoreWeave actually had a huge move down and now a huge move up. So, oh my gosh, breaking news. Let's go. She's got it over there. What's up?
Bloomberg reporting a story about CoreWeave. CRWV, they report earnings later this week, and Bloomberg reporting that the company is seeking a $8.5 billion loan from banks that are backed by the Meta deal. Now, I mean, not much of a move here, but I think worth noting, here's Meta not doing anything. AMD, again, also associated with Meta not doing anything. But once again here, CoreWeave reportedly seeking $8.5 billion loan from banks backed by the Meta deal. Now, I also want to mention Google, GeoOGL, reportedly announcing 2 data centers. The market is not reactive to any of these stories this afternoon, guys. I'm just going to be honest with you. Back to you.
You know, Mr. Open Door, Eric Jackson, actually had a bit of a, maybe it was yesterday. I feel like I was just going through sometimes I read some interesting stuff that I might find on X on the train ride home. And he actually had a rant about why IREN was so much better than CoreWeave.
Okay.
That said, the CoreWeave's up 7% today. That news didn't move it. This should be on watch tomorrow. Regardless of what happens, $100 is about as big of a psychological level as exists in any stock. $10, $50, $100, like that kind of a thing. And look what you got going on here. A potential run at said $100 level. It got almost exactly, I don't know, but this might be a dark pool. No, that's 1030. It actually broke it on the 13th, Friday the 13th. It broke and failed $100. That's ominous. We could have a retake of that 100. Just from a pure momentum standpoint. I'm not a CoreWeave guy myself, but for 100 breaking, holding the 50, that should be on watch tomorrow for sure. Wow, I guess Intel did not set up that trend break. Okay, well, the other way to look at it could have been to draw that and go long off the bounce. I was looking for the breakdown. Clearly, it didn't happen. So I don't know. We'll have to see if silver will actually set up a lower high. It's at VWAP now, but I didn't enter it just because it ticked into the line. I waited for it to kind of fall, go sideways, and give an actual secondary entry on that bad boy. And I've heard someone saying that Wolf, oh, Neil, you said nothing in the chat is hitting on your scanners. And they said, well, what about TeraWolf? The scanner that I was talking about is my trade rate. Right, so it's on e-signal. It's really more about the velocity, like what's going through on the tape. Not so much is the stock up 14%. Like, yeah, I can throw something up that would find that Wolf is up 14%, but I want something which is it's doing much more trading volume than normal is the best way to think about it. This has been declining volume pretty much all afternoon on Wolf. And I haven't seen any small cappers that have been picking up. Like, that's what I would like to see. But I haven't seen any, so.
Appreciate you there, Zion. Yeah, look, it was a pretty good trade on that one. So thank you for doing that. Thank you, Turk Tank, as well there. The legend continues there. And yeah, look, it is what it is when it comes to trading, right? I mean, trading is not the easiest thing. And we're just going to be sitting here trying to find opportunities for all, for ourselves and for all of you guys as well. And just understand like how we're doing it and what we're up to. And here it is right here. The legend continues. Let's grow. Thank you, legend. You're welcome. Turk Tank 660 right there as we continue to bleed down just a little bit. It's almost $1 there. Wendy's, you wanted this trade. We first started it down here, but 40. If we get into the 40s, we'll spin that dollar club for you. Okay, Wendy's legend over there as it's coming back in. So we still have a little bit of a piece on. And we just trying to find out, what trades build for you? What trades match out, right? We talked about the academy, learning your own style. Everyone on the floor has a completely different style, that's for sure. And you know, you're gonna see, I've only made 3 symbols today trading, right? And so it's like, I'm trying to be a little more specific, look for these opportunities. And then just for me, it's all about share sizing and, you know, where to put on, you know, the most. And we didn't have, because we reloaded it, we actually wound up taking a little bit more than we had thought. But yeah, nice move downside right there. And just so you guys know, my stop is 297 now. So this has just been great. Everything's printing down. We'll see if we can get a little bit lower and hold this into the close. It's 3:30 right now. Tomorrow we stay late with everybody. Tomorrow is the big one for earnings. We got NVIDIA, we got CRM. So there's gonna be some interesting names that come through. We'll run through the earnings calendar when we get back from Madeira.
I actually have the earnings calendar kind of at least for tonight after the bell. AMC, I believe, is also reporting after the bell tonight. I couldn't find an implied move for them, so they're not here. But at 4 p.m., we have a murderer's row, for lack of a better term. Mercado Libre, First Solar, Axon, Workday, Tempest. Then 4:05 p.m., you've got Navitas and Lucid. You've got Cava at 4:10. HPQ at 4:15. I do have individualized infographics for Cava, Lucid, and Tempest, all available on X at TTV Research, and they will repost a minute or so before each report. But yeah, guys, nice look. Axon, oddly enough, and this is not even a name that I would necessarily be comfortable intraday trading, 18% expected move. So largest expected move by far here for AXON, a name that is not known for being super tradable intraday, even on earnings. Back to you.
Of course, a young gun around here, Fabian, goes, what about AMC?
What about?
And that's the thing, like that's the kind of thing that
Well, actually,
they're reporting apparently, right? I mean, I think theaters are
I just couldn't find an expected move for them.
and plus
Down?
market cap too, Adara. Like
down is the answer to that question.
They wouldn't have been. I mean, Neil has the chart up there. You don't necessarily want to go anything but short. I don't think. You know what's really working?
Bounce off $1.
Shout out to Canada.
That's the trade.
What is IMAX's symbol?
I love it.
You would think that. Let me try. IMAX.
It is just IMAX.
Yeah, I know. I was just joking. I knew that. So there it is right here. IMAX. This has been working out, and I think that with a lot of the blockbuster movies coming out this year, apparently there's like. You talked about Murderer's Row. There's like a bunch of apparently good movies coming through this year. Good, I don't know, but sequels, all that kind of stuff, prequels, a whole bunch of stuff. Those of you that are big movie buffs would know in the chat what's coming through. But yeah, IMAX really been working out there. Good
Mandalorian and Grogu.
Good Cineplex. No, they're unless they're Canadian listed. They're Cineplex, a Canadian company, but IMAX, located right here in Toronto. You know, good levels there, and this is part of the experience, right? My kids really only like to do big things. They went to see. What's the one with Ariana Grande there? Wicked. Yeah, so where the theater's all the way, and it was in a Cineplex, like a Cinesphere almost thing. So I don't know if IMAX is responsible for that, but apparently it's a big thing there. So yeah, enjoy it already with IMAX. That might be
like, why go to a movie when you can jailbreak Fire Stick? It's the experience.
Yeah, man. I mean, I love going to the movie, man. Grabbing the popcorn with the kids, sitting down there, watching it.
Anybody that if you went to see
getting told by an usher I'm too old, you know, things
Super
like
Mario with kids, like it was. Like I enjoyed how into it all of the teenagers were. Cause that was fun for me. My daughter was like, "Why can't I hear the film because everyone's like hooting and hollering?" Which, again,
no, that was Minecraft.
Minecraft, my bad.
I was gonna say Minecraft was a great experience. We did the 3D.
It's a great experience. Yeah. Although the younger kids there were like, I can't hear the movie.
Yeah, because we went to the release of that movie, so nobody was going crazy for Chicken Jockey at that point.
Everyone lost. We went we went the Saturday instead of the Sunday. If you went the Friday, people hadn't figured it out yet. If you went the Saturday, everybody knew what was going on and was losing their minds. That said, we also could have just gone earlier in the afternoon.
Yeah. Cosm.
That's what we should have done. I don't know if this is going to load up here.
I want to go to this.
What's Cosm?
Hey, next time I'm...
Cosm.
That's the one where you can, it's like you're ringside. You are literally, right, Salvador? This is it. There's one in Dallas. There's one in LA. It's the best experience for sports watching, period. You could sit courtside. Look at, here, maybe there's a video. We could find a video of that. It's amazing. Here, I'll look it up. COSM example or something like that. Yeah, here. I don't know how much we can actually play of this. Hold on a second. Let me see if I can find it. This guy's driving to one right now. Okay, so it's like this.
Yeah, but
hold on a second. I want to see this guy watching. This guy's reading a menu. Ah, shoot. I don't know. You see, so you're like in a stadium. You could watch it. He's recommending a football. Hold on. There. See, it's like you're sitting here. This is what you're seeing. So it's like your front row, basically.
But you're chilling with your boys.
Watch. There it is. This is the bar.
Oh,
so they have UFC fights. They have everything, boxing. So you're sitting here.
They got to get that in Toronto.
That's what I'm saying.
Are you?
Anyways, I don't want to show that up. I don't, maybe we're not allowed to show other people's YouTube channels or anything. But anyways, that was pretty awesome. That's a good, pretty cool experience. So thank you, Salvador.
People would lose their mind. Like that experience, like imagine like Real Sports down here, like to watch a hockey game or even to watch like playoff basketball. Like
I think it's just a huge projector. I think that's about right.
Oh, that sounds, I'd be down with that. We're going to go back to it. It's actually past 3:30. I want to come back and show you guys an early look.
Yeah, I mean, I have a big move here in PayPal. Reportedly, Stripe is considering an acquisition of all or parts of PayPal. Again, PYPL. We know there were reports of an acquisition yesterday. Now Stripe. Reportedly, the company considering that acquisition. We also have comments from Feds Collins. There's a lot coming in right now, guys. Feds Collins saying, quote, "We're likely to hold current rates for some time." So not higher for longer, but as Brendan said last week, holding for longer is the vibe here from the Fed. Furthermore, Fox News reporting that U.S. President Trump has said that Iran has not agreed to forego nuclear weapons. Furthermore, Trump reportedly plans to announce new data center energy deals and tech cost-sharing measures during the State of the Union address tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern. Back to you.
It's worth mentioning here, there was a small sympathy bounce in a firm on that PayPal headline. So the answer to the question that we all had is Stripe, right? So Stripe is considering the acquisition of all or parts of PayPal. So there is going to be, usually you will see some sympathy on some other names in the space because, well, if one guy's a target, then maybe we're a target as well. PayPal up 7 points on this. And this is, people were asking about the technical breakout. You do sometimes have, when you've got deal speculation, it does give you like a little bit of a floor to work with. But also keep in mind, it's not that there is a done deal here or it is an absolute guarantee. So you always have to keep that in mind. You don't know what premium might be in this. I don't think there's been enough M&A within fintech that you could say, well, this is what the average has been. Like in biopharma, I think this year it's probably most of the deals are in the 50 to 70% range, I would say. But you have no idea what is in fintech. We haven't seen any big ones. So a lot could happen, and it's just a rumor for now. But good look on PayPal here to the upside. It's 335. The early look is still CVE, NEM, CNQ. UiPath is still 1.2 million shares to the buy side there. Path, however, if you load up, man, $10 stock.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. UiPath and Unity. Poor Kathy Wood, man.
That's
she's not
bad.
poor. I mean, she's getting a lot of money from all these
Rich
fees
anyways.
that she's collecting.
No, but it is at a significant bottom. Like this is all the way back to last year's low. Oh, close enough to last year's lows. So a little bit of a buy and balance here after a couple of rough days. Sometimes you can see a consolidative break. It's only 1.2 million. It's done 25 million volume. It's a decent amount of volume for UiPath. So it's not really moving the needle yet. The way I like to play those is play the flip at 355. So if it comes out as a bid, tries to push it through the high, you kind of short the turn, but we'll see. We still have about 15 minutes till those imbalances come out. I was saying silver wasn't giving the same, it didn't give the same setup at the volume weighted average price. Fail VWAP, put in a lower high. This time it goes to VWAP, holds, puts in a bottoming tail candle, and continues to go higher. So yeah, there's a line on the chart that we like to short, but it didn't show any weakness, so no need to short it, as far as I'm concerned. So PayPal actually holding on to these gains.
Yeah, I think PayPal's good. I mean, Stripe's trying to come public, so I always thought that was the purpose of someone buying out PayPal was the users. They still have a lot of active users, so maybe somebody. I always thought maybe Google could turn it over.
I'm technically an active user on PayPal.
Well, no, you're not active. You said that you canceled.
Okay, it's true.
I am an active user.
I've recently canceled the last thing that I used them for.
There you go. Just quickly here, we did get out of JPMorgan, so we'll spin that. We got out at 297, so we don't have to worry about it. So there's the 297 fill right there that we put out, and it was a good trade to end the day there on JPMorgan. What do you call a guy with a rubber toe? What? Roberto. You know, like his name would be. Thank you for that. Okay, here we go.
Where's my thing? There it is. Who hit that was Fabian. Oh, it wasn't Fabian.
Okay, here we go. We'll go to Darren in a second. Let's see if we win this first. Roll up the rim to win. We're already winning with all these hilarious jokes. So right now...
Before you do it,
yeah.
If I offered you a quarter...
No. Please play again.
You should have taken a quarter.
No, I shouldn't have. I would always... no, man, never. This is why I get it. I told you. I'm like, whatever. The word I used was not the right one, but this was... I've never... the only reason I'm buying it is so I can have the chance to win. You're so
You could have had the shiny quarter. And the funny thing
buy
is,
$2.
it might be your quarter too. I have no. It's just sitting on the desk. I don't even know why there's a quarter on the desk. It makes no sense.
Like if that offer like was $1, then yeah, it would have made sense. But for a quarter, like, nah, for me that's not worth it.
I mean, what are you winning? You're winning a coffee.
I won't be able to live with myself if it was a winner.
I always offer $1 because that's the standard. But there was a quarter.
Yes, of course, the real Gary F. Did I order ahead in the app for the digital rolls? Yeah. That's how we won the donut, my guy. We already won a donut on this coffee there, which I'm going to get Neil an apple fritter, and then the guy told me he's on a diet.
Is McDonald's monopoly on? I'm not on a diet.
No. So what they do is they go this roll up the rim, then McDonald's comes with something after.
That's what we do. Like you
don't really want to compete.
And we don't just scan it on the app. Like we also, you got to have the board too. You got to do it both ways. I mean,
that Roberto thing was just too good, man. All right, let's go back over. Let's go back over and see what Adara's up to.
Take a look here at the market. Pretty choppy. We do have more comments coming from these Feds. We had, as I mentioned earlier, we had some Feds Collins talk that was pretty hawkish, saying that she thinks there's no reason to rush to cut rates. Feds Collins also saying further that inflation is expected to wane this year, but she does demand, apparently, clear evidence that disinflation is back on track. So Feds Collins being bossy here with inflation and asking, or I guess calling for rates to be held for a little bit longer. Meanwhile, Feds Barkin saying that the job market is, quote, clearly loosened, with labor supply dynamics still clouding the outlook. So again, Barkin and Collins still talking here, guys. Back to you.
Yeah, Fed talk, it's kind of weird. You don't usually, I feel like we don't usually get Fed talk from 3 to 4 o'clock, but here we are. Is there a bargain? There's also this headline. Anthropic has no plans to ease restrictions on military usage. There has been a bit of a back and forth because Hegseth essentially gave them till Friday evening to give the military unfettered access to its AI model or face harsh consequences or penalties, I think it was the word he used.
I think there's something really convenient here that Anthropic is putting out their own releases, basically stating that they're going to disrupt every single business alive. What a surprise they're doing that ahead of IPO. Like, come on, man. I mean, they're literally putting out their own releases now about all of this. So I think it's like part of it. I do believe in it. I'm not saying that it's all. It's just like sometimes you got to think about what some of the reasons may be ahead of all of this. Exactly. So that's what they're doing right now.
No, but it would be a big deal if look, man, if the U.S. military did say, hey, no, you got to back off. We're not going to utilize you. That's a lot of money. There's a lot of dollars.
They're already dealing with my guy Palantir over here and Alex Clark.
There's a lot of available dollars if you want access to.
Yeah, and see, Palantir's not really
reliable and consistent.
Yeah, Palantir's not really going back and forth on that news at all. So that's funny. FOKZIU. I'm using Claude at work. It ain't replacing anything. Yeah, you're right, Grunfeld. I agree anyways with you as well that this is, what did you call it there? Puffery to the highest degree. And I think that is probably right. And here it is right here. Oops, that's Godzilla. Just too many things coming through, but good point there. Get part of our chat, man. You can get there by, of course, subscribing and or just hitting the subscribe button, right? And you can get into the chat where we have a lot of fun talk in here. You can Big Bear AI finally showing some move up.
You know what? It just broke $5. I saw it.
What?
Even
not $5.
Even Open Door just went up.
Yeah, Big Bear AI is not breaking out $5 anytime soon. This is March 3rd, guys.
It just broke. It got back.
Yeah, Open Door. Yeah, I like Open Door, actually.
Someone actually said that, Open's breaking 5, and my first reaction was, oh shoot, Open Door's breaking down under 5, not realizing it did it yesterday. So it's actually up 5%, but that's not good. That's not good at all, and it still doesn't look all that good on the daily chart, everybody. And for gravel culture, my bad, there is no date for the Anthropic IPO. And as a matter of fact, there is one. There was supposed to be three IPOs got pulled away, but there is an IPO on Friday. But it's not there was one for over $1 billion that was supposed to be last Friday. They still haven't refiled. But this one, Generate Biomedicines, is apparently IPOing on Friday. It'll be like a $500 million offer amount. So yeah, despite the fact that that market seems to be slowing right now, Anthropic is going to come out before GPT. That's the expectation. We don't know yet when. We don't know when for SpaceX either, right? So SpaceX and XAI, there's no firm date. We're expecting them this year. I think your best bet for those, you can always look at Polymarket and maybe, I don't know if they have odds for that, as I think about it.
They should.
IPO, if I just type IPO, largest, I mean, there's specifically, here, I maybe have to type in a specific name, shoot.
Put it on the screen. I can see you do it.
Yeah, because I was looking at it, I just typed in the word IPO, and it's like IPO before 2007, so I should go Anthropic.
That's probably good enough. Just hit it. Oh, well there, IPO, market
Which is
cap.
first, we already know which one's going to be.
Let's see. Oh, 67%. Okay, so yeah.
Show me all results.
Doesn't really give you a date.
No, it's not going to give us a date. Market cap, I don't care about. IPO before 2027 is not going to be any good. Over 500 billion valuation in 2000. It's already done that. Acquired.
I did want to talk.
I guess you can't bet on everything, Polymarket.
You can make it up. We can write
in our own.
We can write in our own right there. Okay. So I just saw. Look, there's one thing I want to say about this, about PayPal here, and that is that we had talked about this a few times, that it was down here, and I actually talked about this. I think it was, what day is today? Tuesday, so it was last week, where I thought PayPal got hit enough where there was a good value down here. And I remember talking about it when it was at 40 bucks and saying, look, you can hold that for $2 against you, might be worth it just in case. So it's nice that that's sort of playing out right now. I just wanted to say, like, regardless of what I said, if we go into here into overview, its PE was relatively low. I think that's why I sparked that discussion a little bit right into there. Yeah, 8. So, I mean, that was something that when I had looked at it, I was like, okay, might be some decent value up in here for PayPal. So, and I was just going to say, like, people now, a lot of traders that were long down into here, definitely taking a little bit of profit now. So, that's a nice move up. And remember, whenever there's buyout rumors or things like that, note that last word that I said there, rumor. So you want to make sure that you get a little bit out. And if I was long at 40 bucks and I just got 20% up to 48 there, it spiked regardless. Even at 15% where we are right now, it's more than that. That's a nice little 1 week or less than that, paycheck or whatever profit spot. So yeah, I think PayPal probably makes a move down, but it's nice to see. Most of the time when there's smoke, there's fire. Wasn't it? Burry or something yesterday was talking a little bit about this and said that somebody was most likely not a buyer or whatever. There was someone else. So there's Stripe. So it looks like he's going to be right about that one as Stripe looking there. And then someone else in the chat said that there's also an internal share sale right now happening for employees of Anthropic, which would make sense why they're pumping the tires of Anthropic right now, trying to get the best for their employees. So I say that's awesome. And I think that that's great news for everybody invested or whatever in Anthropic. So, and congratulations.
Yeah, there's also no date for a Stripe going public either. Like that's
I actually
another
thought
one that's another one that we thought. Well,
because it's been so bad for Fintech.
We were hearing about Stripe potentially last year.
What's coming first,
we were gonna
Stripe
get it.
or Anthropic?
So I don't know. Like there's been a bunch of IPOs that we were
signs point to yes.
So that's Stripe first.
I said, what's coming for Stripe or Anthropic? I guess I did not ask the right question because the answer to yes to that would not be
I guess
accurate.
you're supposed to do yes or no questions.
Are you?
I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
How about this?
Which is coming?
Will the Nasdaq hold 25,000 in the next 15 minutes?
The answer to that is yes.
And well, at this point, we've already held it, so don't count on it. The Magic 8 Ball, that's cap.
Wow, in my face.
No, I mean, look what just happened. The only reason I said that is this is a pretty good close here for the Nasdaq, despite the fact it only took one trade. It was a short, and thank goodness we didn't reload it because silver blows back through VWAP. So sometimes it's good to be one and done. You're holding 25K. You're holding the top end of the range. It's also the morning resistance level. It's not a blowout. And then you've got to throw in the fact that, hey, guess what's tonight? It's a State of the Union. So anything that's happening now might not matter because the State of the Union is a potential market-moving event. If you are trading in the overnight, then you care. You will be watching. You'll probably be looking at defense names, oil,
Oil's a good one. Oil's a great one.
I was going to say oil futures, but more like energy names in particular. Maybe you might care a little bit about tech. And easy peasy with the super chat. Throws it in here. Ooh, here we go. Using Claude code, recreated trader post, trading system AI, trading more products, Cyber CRM in days, software companies should be very worried. I was at my daughter's birthday party, spoke to a software engineer, and he basically, I won't say where he works, but he was telling me, he's like, on his team, he can now do the work of like 4 or 5 people because
there's a lot of white collar jobs.
He doesn't need them to develop the app. He's like, well, this is what I want to do. He explains it, and then he can go for a coffee and comes back, and the code is already.
Well, Brendan and Shreve were saying like it'll message you.
It'll literally message you.
It'll be like, yo, your thing
we're
is
done now. So he doesn't need someone to go, like usually this is what I want, and they go code it, and this is like that job is a problem. Like all the teach your kid how to code stuff. Like my daughter does that same stuff.
Yeah.
I forget the name of the one we use, code whatever. But learning the logic is important, and understanding what you want and what you want it to make. But actually doing the code, that's dead.
All 3 of my kids went to Code Ninjas, which is like a coding school. And my guy graduating from university is like pretty into all that stuff. So yeah, it's a tough time right now if that's the kind of stuff that you're looking for. I feel like jobs are going to be sparse in this space, but I feel like a lot of that is overblown.
It's overblown because
like your friend and the guys in this space, they know how to, and I'm sure Easy Peasy has some experience there. It's not like I'm just going to download this and all of a sudden start coding,
You have to know what it is that you want to be built.
Just how to do it.
In a very strong sense of exactly what it is that you're looking for, to be able to describe it, to be able to understand whether it's working properly, to know the parameters of what you're trying to achieve. There's so much about it. 30 seconds till the imbalances come out, so 25,000 probably holds on the futures. The early look is exactly the same as it was before, CVE, NEM. UiPath, I'll probably have that one up on the off chance that actually shows a bit of a buy. Can't believe that's a $10 stock. The mighty fellow. Nike's an early look sell of 1.1 million as well. Yeah, Nike's been a bit of a mover the last little bit, even though we haven't, I don't know if we've covered it that much. Nike.
Have not.
Neither Walmart, but those have been movers recently. So a couple of seconds to go, and then we will have these imbalances.
And they're out.
And now, not much.
And new.
Really not much. Nvidia's 1.2 to buy. Walmart's 1.2 to buy. Those are small numbers.
You're just talking about Walmart there. You're just talking about UiPath as well.
Cisco, 1 million.
UiPath is reporting, is that why?
No, they're not.
Okay.
There's nothing that big. Maybe like 1 million shares. 1 million shares is not usually moving Nvidia. Oh, well, apparently it is today. Only 1.2 million to buy, and Nvidia is back at the highs. And in a cruel test of fate, does it want to break 194 with 10 minutes to go the day before earnings? In the most useless scenario for it to break 194 bucks, it could actually do that. Might be better for a flip play. Like if that pairs off and it rejects the 194, that could be a play. But it's not a big enough imbalance to care. Yeah, so the big news this afternoon, I think, is going to be this PayPal story. Like that's the one thing. You could easily have
Nasdaq.
Well, the Nasdaq is shooting higher, but how much do we believe in continuation when we got the State of the Union tonight?
I want
NVIDIA earnings tomorrow. Does it really matter where we are? It's nice that we're up, but a couple of big events are happening that can easily change things.
I know I stepped in and averaged in to Palo Alto yesterday, but what a fail on this one again, down another 1%. We're a couple bucks underneath right now on PanW as we talk about potential disruptions in this space. I mean, cybersecurity is the one that it doesn't even really make sense to me, but again, without being that engineer, I don't know. CRWD is another one that we know has been getting hit as well, and that's flat today, so that's nice, but they were battling back earlier. Like CrowdStrike was up to 360, and then now it's back down to 350 again. So, I think we might have to hold these trades close to our vest and just, wait to see if there is a pain point or something, because I feel like these are going to be up and down for a while right now. And again, coming into tonight, should be exciting for the State of the Union. I think it's something that's probably going to be a little overblown for the importance, but if you are trading after hours, you want to look at, something like an oil. I don't think, if anything happens with China, like mentions of China trade deals or anything like that, you might want to look out for an Nvidia or for an Alibaba or even a Tesla maybe on, I don't really know, what to focus on. And then if if there is some more actionable events, in the Middle East or wherever it happens to be, I still like, you have the LMTs, Lockheed Martins, you have, we talked Northrop Grumman, we talked about that already. NOC would be something to look at. Even a PLTR after hours probably didn't. And I've never swam in blue ocean, so I don't really know what the liquidity looks like, but
Palantir is one of the stocks that normally, according to the guys that trade it, say that the most reliable stocks for volume
are the normal ones.
Are Nvidia and Tesla and Palantir. Like pretty much, if it does a lot of volume during the day, then it's one of the safer ones to trade in the evening, which makes logical sense. Or if it has like earnings.
7 minutes left. So, Dara, are you going to stay awake for that State of the Union, or what are your plans?
I have a button. Sorry, guys, I'm just standing up. I'm pretty sleepy, which is why I'm standing up. So I don't know if I'll make it to 9, but if not, then I'll watch it in the morning. And either way, I'm going to watch it. And are you guys watching the State of the Union?
Well, I always watch. I pick it up in the morning. In my trade ride in, it is. I'm going to listen to something on my trade ride in, so it might as well be the State of the Union. Danny Boy, regular pants. Because sometimes you just got to have the best name in the chat. Thank you for the super chat. If anyone is wondering why Highcroft is up another 11% while SLV is flat, Eric Sprott bought another 150,000 shares, already owns 40% of the company. Not sure what this brings him up to. Well, I mean, I don't know. You could probably do the math there. But this is something, and appreciate you bringing this up. We have talked about the whole notion of the miners versus spot prices. It tends to be, you tend to get dragged higher. Like they don't usually move first, but they can be relatively strong in the second phase. All that said, these charts are very similar. But you notice here, without the secondary breakout, this is exactly what you're talking about. No secondary breakout on silver, or SLV, sorry, would need to break through this 80 to 85 zone, whereas on Highcroft, here we go. On Highcroft, you have broken back out. So it's more of a momentum play. I think that's why silver can still look like short at some resistance, whereas you have the miners breaking out. So good to point that out. Relative strength and weakness matters so much. There are so many symbols to trade that you're like, oh, I think the metals are strong. That doesn't automatically mean you go buy GLD. Maybe GDX is a better play. Maybe if you like silver long time, maybe Highcroft was a better play. Right? Like you have to be able to break it down on that level, and that's why you have things like a quote board. Just for the imbalances here, Nvidia did pair off. UiPath is still $1 million to buy, so somebody likes it, but nothing very big. But the only one that actually stayed any decent size is UiPath, and I can tell you that it literally did not even move up a cent. So the buy imbalance, clearly meaningless for this stock, which is probably not a great sign. But then UiPath is at almost 52-week lows. Almost.
Yeah, I mean, that's, again, like another big AI name that is definitely in a little bit of hurt right there. So just be careful with all of your trading here on any of those names. We don't know what's going to hit for anybody, but just be careful. And today it's actually a pretty green board all around, right? I mean, we just saw the Nasdaq up 1.07%, the S&P 500 up how much? 0.75. So, both indexes up around 1% with, of course, the Nasdaq leading the way today. The only real red space here, we have energy slightly down. And again, we talked about maybe potentially why. I'm getting a headache. Like, I don't know if it's about to snow or something outside or rain. But, all right, utilities, transport, Tesla. Manufacturing, we didn't look here too much today. But, yeah, GEV, I mean, keeps going. We know that story is going to continue with power and everything like that. So shout out to GEV as well. JCI Controls, Johnson Controls, that's a good one there as well. Caterpillar. So a lot of those names starting to go. Funny to see Google red, although barely 0.23. That's not great, but still fine. I mean, Oracle up 3%. IBM, nice battle back day for IBM. Nice battle back day for CRM. I feel like for App Lovin' as well, selling advertising on apps and things like that, that's going to become tougher and tougher for them as many.
Broadcom stands out today.
Yeah, down. And so is Micron. And we've seen some of those spaces there. What's this? WDC, okay, Western Digital. There was something, health services we don't talk about enough. UNH down 3%. There, Humana, Centene downside as well. Molina Health. So, yeah, not great. I don't know what's going on with that. That could also be, of course, a play with regards to tonight, right? I mean, healthcare obviously talked about in the State of the Union, so watch out for that. So yeah, a lot of exciting happenings today, and it should be good. And thank you everybody for watching. It was Trader TV Live Academy Day. Thank you to everybody that did sign up. Keep them coming. And yeah, we're excited to talk more about that and have everyone back here tomorrow at 8 a.m.
Oh, and just for one out there, we put it in the chat. I might do it again. We had some questions. If you've signed up for Trade TV Academy, I'm going to throw it into the chat. And you have questions or concerns, support at tradertv.academy.
Oh, right.
And I'll put that in the chat for you. So you're in there. You can always look. You can ask us during the day, but the best thing you can do is to simply go to the email that link, which is support at Trader TV. Another name with 2 minutes to go that's actually running into the close and doing some good things is Netflix.
Ooh.
Up 2.5% and running. And remember, the news recently was that Paramount Skydance was upping their bid. I still have not seen an official release.
Nor have I.
It's like, so the news, the website I use for buyouts, all they have is received revised proposal from Paramount Skydance, which is the same news we had yesterday, and there was speculation it would be $32. So it's done absolutely, there's been nothing. I can tell you, I was like, well, this is gonna be a really, really big long today if there's any news. So I was, at the first trend break, I just sat in it and was like, oh, let's go. Because if in the middle of the day, you can have a tight stop, but if it ends up being 32, then I figured it could spike. I might try the same thing again tomorrow, but it's kind of weird that they've said they're raising the bid a day ago and we still don't have a number. Figure it out, Paramount. Figure it out. But
Paramount.
Doesn't matter. Netflix is up and looking incredibly, no, it's just looking better. I can't say looking incredibly strong. If it can't break above this little 79 spot, all you've done is retrace the last couple of weeks' range. So less than 1 minute to go, everybody. Some people like Joe Schmo apparently would like Netflix to let Paramount pick them up. I think there are a lot of investors who would prefer they don't make this acquisition. But, I tend to think it might be a good one, but we'll see. Content.
NVIDIA will, I think content's king. I would like them to buy that, but for Netflix to grab it.
I don't want them to raise the bid, though.
We were just, NVIDIA, well, they have to, I don't know, we'll see. NVIDIA there just was at the high of the day, then the imbalances switched around, so now you're getting downside. But NVIDIA, good trade today as it gets to the high. We only have 6 seconds left. We want to thank Beta Pro for their sponsorship of the closing bell, and there it is right there. Fabian's still waiting to automate that closing bell. Yeah, look, it's not too late. If you do have a spare moment tonight, man, go over to Trader TV Live, tradertv.live. Check out the Academy. There's also tradertv.academy. You can go to that right here. Look it over. See if it's interesting to you. Let us know tomorrow what you thought. But again, a big one, man. This is our journey, right? And it's all 4 of us in here. Talk with Adara, Joe, everybody contributing to this. I've already posted a couple posts in here, as we all have, waiting for you guys to start getting posted as well right now. 2 of you online. Shout out to Darren online right now, and Frown is online right now. So, Connie posted an update. Okay, we'll check those out. But yeah, make sure you guys are all part of this. It's an all-in-one sort of platform. It's Trader TV Live Academy, and we're really happy to have that roll out today.
Yeah, exactly. We're super excited for it. We're excited for tomorrow's NVIDIA Day on earnings, and tonight, of course, the State of the Union. So a lot can happen. Look, if you're watching energy, if you're watching defense, anything chip-related, then you do care. I'm going to be off tomorrow. It's my daughter's birthday, and she has like an assembly presentation at school.
Nice.
So that's what I'll be doing for the day, and I got a couple appointments. But you guys are going to be in good hands. And don't forget,
my daughter is the MC at a thing tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. That should be exciting. She joined the audio visual club or something like that, and
see now that's
now she's the MC at some sort of a recognition assembly. They recognize.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
She's also getting recognized for her French. Never heard her speak French. But all right.
Learning languages is great for kids.
Well, take care. Have a good time off. It'll be Obi tomorrow, so that should be fun. We'll see what he's up to. There he'll talk about his trading as well. But yeah, thanks again for everybody. We're back tomorrow.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, we'll see everybody tomorrow live. Thanks, Adara. Joe's still here. Put Joe on. Joe wants to wave bye to everybody. Or thumbs up and that. Okay, good, thanks, Joe. Fabian, everybody, Ramin, Andre, everybody that's here, Adara, thank you, Neil, everybody, Brendo. Thank you to everybody that signed up for Academy today. We had a great run, first day. Introductory offer will be available for a while. I'll get the details for you on that tomorrow. But thank you to everybody for supporting it. Check it out if you have a spare minute tonight, and we'll see everybody tomorrow. For Neil, I'm Sean. Thank you for watching. We'll see you tomorrow at 8 o'clock.